really have got to give credit to Thrive for just playing on their A game after, narrowly being eliminated inside of Element 3 during the Swiss stage and being re-invited. They've really proved their point that they belong to be here.
The bet was an
Absolutely.
ace from
Thrive are
Super,
putting up a hell of a
yes.
fight.
I'm feeling pretty confident currently.
Unfazed was the word I was looking for. I said and then like.
What do I have to do if he wins?
my
VIP
brain
him?
died.
No, I have to follow him on Twitter.
He was
Oh, this is so easy.
Anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
It's the freest 5 subs I
Just
ever
as
got
we
in
head
my
down to
life.
basement, and this is Thrive's last chance to take another attacking round. It's been back-to-back 2-1 attacking quarters.
More
so
rounds
far
end
from
from
both
kills
Thrive
than post
and
plants,
Sonic.
or is
So
it about
Thrive wants to
50-50?
keep at this. They kind of need this round, otherwise.
I believe there's a
Sonic
plant
back
in
on the attack
approximately
with a
like 1 in
5-4
every
lead, and
4
Ambi
rounds
is
right
looking to put his foot down and deny any sort of competitiveness from Thrive heading into the second and or third and first.
I believe
quarters with that
The
small
average
peak
is
on
about 1 plant every 4 rounds.
Speaking of which, the only person who's
Which
been
is, I
rather
think,
quiet for
average.
Thrive
I think that's
has
about normal.
Probably got to be Candle. AMK's been doing a phenomenal job so far. In the
Like,
entry
most
department
of the
and just
time,
in
if the
general
defense are doing
playing
their
so
job,
well
they really
against
shouldn't
Sonics.
be allowing
Candle,
plants to go down.
someone who we had highlighted besides Twist has been rather quiet.
But sometimes
There's
shit
a
happens,
third
you know?
trade
Sometimes
by
rankers
AMK.
die and
This
you got
guy
roamers
is not
offsite.
allowing anything to get past him against
Sometimes
the
you
Sonics.
fumble
The
your
primary
plant denial.
roamer of Merc has been dealt with, and there's still 2 minutes. The round is still rather young for Thrive. They already have the main breach opened up, and given the fact they have both the Ace and Thermite, plus a Ram, they could get vertical once the rest of the roamers are dealt with, and rotate over into the wide side
Don't
of the
this
map
Super
to
he
have more
aced against
angles
Beast
opened up
Coast
to
as a
threaten and
stand-in.
Did he just walk in?
Listen, I
He's taking
believe that
damage.
Super is
Yeah,
a
he
good
just tried to
general
walk in.
manager.
He's at least able to back out, but that was a daring play from Aimkey.
I don't know if
We
I
saw
believe
one
that he
being
can
set
get
up
an ace
outside
in
the trench door.
a
That was,
relatively
I
competitive
believe,
tournament.
Moses. Skunky tries to work his way in to clear it. He gets taken out, but Moses
Super
is just
down.
in the middle of the
I guess
site,
he didn't
kills
chat.
one of the
Super
30,
probably
swiftly
didn't hear
traded
the
back by Ambi.
10,000 rounds that Moses
Now it's
shot
all up to
before he hit
Cryptics
Super in the
as
head. It's
Aimkey
understandable.
falls off screen. He's in the
Super's
middle of the
old.
bomb
His
site.
hearing's a little bit
Sonics know this.
slow
They're
to
hunting him
register
down.
the
Cryptics is stuck in
the
the corner.
bullets, the sound of the bullets. It's
Ambi
understandable.
Really wants this
It
kill.
makes
He does the
sense.
swing, and Ambi wins it. Sonics.
It happens, it
Take
happens.
a 2-1 defensive half and are looking good heading into the 4th and final quarter.
And that's one of the problems.
Is this quals
with
for the
trying to
Invitational?
go for those kind of aggressive
No.
plays, Harrison, is sure some members on Sonics might not be prepared for you just walking through the open breach, but your teammates aren't gonna be
Invitational
ready for
quals
that
are in
either 9 times out of
January,
10
I
unless you
think.
clearly communicate that and give them
January or
time to set
December.
up.
One of the
There
two.
was an entire facet of a play happening across the map by Small Garage. He even had the ace get in through pillar for a moment, killing Super, but then the rest of his teammates have already died by trench door, or they're still trying to clear out positions on the top floor. It wasn't a very cohesive round by Thrive, and it allowed Sonics to
Ambi's woken up. The game's done.
make
Ambi's
the
been
round
playing
they
good
had
from the
lost
start, to be
just
honest. Even
momentarily.
the first couple of
Ambi
rounds where
still
Sonics were
won
losing, Ambi was
the
like the only
opening
person
kill
putting up
by
numbers.
finding that spawn peak on the Candor. So they already had a
But
phenomenal
he's
start
definitely
on
been
the
putting up more and
defensive
more
round, and didn't look
numbers.
all too worried
Averaging
that they
about
had several
1
different
kill per
attackers
round, a
following
little
the
over
side.
that.
Yeah, I think the last couple rounds from Thrive.
Why don't I have
have
drops?
showcased-
Because fucking Ubisoft haven't gotten back to my goddamn
you know, a
application.
2-1 team's
I'm
adaptability.
waiting.
Thrive are now kind of
I
leaning a
sent in
little
the
bit
application to get
too
drops.
into the
I
surprise
contacted
play. They're trying a little bit
Ubisoft, my
too
my
hard
guy at
to do what
Ubisoft,
they did
and I was
in their
like, "Can I
first
please
attacking
have
quarter,
drops?" And
but
he was like, "You
it's
have
not
to
gonna
apply
work
for it
again
like everybody
against
else."
Sonic.
So I was like,
Sonics are ready
"Fine."
for it.
So I applied for it like
Got the
everybody
necessary
else,
trades
and I did that like a week
Thrive
ago,
now
and
find
I'm still
themselves
waiting
down
to
a
hear
point
back.
after an unsuccessful attacking half now. Sonics at the benefit of attack. We go into dining room kitchen. Sonics do have a Capitao, a Ying, a Gridlock, and a Lion. A lot of utility to displace defenders and or keep them in place.
I would assume another solar focused take, and then having all this utility just to barge in a trophy in West Main like they own the place seems to be the main idea, since there's 2 fuel by the master side of the map. Ambi has opened up these castle barricades.
Kitchen
Spyro's
defense,
charges,
you've got
so that's more
3
pressure
players
being put
above,
down
and you've
on a
got 1 in the
completely different
basement
area
too with
of
Skunky.
the map. And it seems like Thrive are really acknowledging this pressure head on. Castle is just, Candle's just stuck in a corner. He's terrified.
There's
of
no
the open
Sens
windows
rush this
behind
time
him
from
and in front
Sonics,
of
but
him.
there could be a
They just
Capitao
spotted ahead of
rush.
Someone upside down repel. That might have been Adam. Yes, it is. Going up for the Lion scan, and Ambi across the map finds the first opener. The top fragment
Oh,
of
Amki has
Amki
slowed a little
is
bit.
dealt with. and it seems like it's only a matter of time before Kansas
13 and 7. Aim key down
There's really nothing
first.
he can do from this position with the nades flying in, but they're somehow missing. Now we've got
Oh my
Candelas
God.
coming
All
through.
those Candelas
Smoke
missed.
grenades coming through. Candle's looking to try
Finally
and fight
one of them
back,
hit.
but he's fully blind. Skunky off screen gets a kill on a super. Finally, Candle is dealt with, but Ambi has also been taken care of, so we're in a 3 versus 3.
This is not bad from
Thrive
Thrive.
have
You go
held
2 for
on
2. You killed
despite
Habana and you
mountains
killed
of utility being
Capital.
thrown at them.
I mean, I
Just
doubt
as I say
the...
that,
Is the
here's
Master Hatch
Switzer with a kill on
reinforced?
Moses.
Probably
2 versus
not.
3 now. Up from the basement comes Legion, but he's cut down, and it's all up
Now
to
it's bad.
Cryptics. 1 versus 3. The
Now it's
Super
bad
Sub
for Thrive. The
with
worst
over
player on
a
the team in the
minute
1v3.
for the attackers left
Now
to
it's
play.
bad.
Drones coming out, utility coming out, Cryptics get spotted, and Sonics are on match
Tough.
And that was just a phenomenal.
I think they
clear
just
top
panicked,
four
to be
by
honest.
Sonics altogether. They had so much utility to focus on just dealing with Master and making sure no one could help their teammates. Although you had the Azami inside of Office, he
A
couldn't
dead
help
Jesse
at all.
just
There were
picked
no
up Diffuser
angles
and
he
Mini
could use
Siege.
or any positions he could
Yeah,
rotate from.
I've been
Just have
told
the
this is a
Habana
bug.
putting in
People in chat have
random
mentioned this
pressure essentially
before.
by Highway,
It shouldn't
even
be
killing
possible,
Inky as he tried to rotate as well. And then you have all
but
the iron scans with
I haven't
fire
fixed it
grenades,
yet.
Ying Candelas,
It's
and
a very
Flashes.
rare bug, so it's hard to
Hassle,
like
with
find.
no one being able to reclaim by solar or the bathroom side of the map either. That's just immediate map control from the Sonics. And what do they do shortly after? They get West Main pressure established as well. They
From
fully
1
clear
to
out
10,
Trophy.
how
They get
hyped are
to
you
the
for
bomb site
Esports
before
World
Thrive
Cup?
can find a way to readjust or even flank on the top floor.
Maybe like a
Much
3?
more cohesive showing by
I don't know if
Sonics
hype is the right
than what
word.
we saw
I'm
in the
interested.
beginning
I'm interested to
of
see
this
who
matchup, 'cause it
wins.
seems like they've really
I'm
put
interested to
a
see
good
who does
number on
well. I'm
Thrive
interested to
as
see what
they
the
figure
meta
out
looks
their
like. I'm
game.
interested to see how the best teams in the world use Striker and
Yeah,
Sentry.
The inconsistency from Thrive's guns and their positioning has
I'm interested
been
to see if
showing
Talon's gotten good
cracks.
enough
Inky 13 and
to
7, but
like
everyone else has been
get
kind of
top
falling
8.
by the
I'm interested to
wayside
see
except
how
for
LG
Skunky.
do at a tournament. I'm interested to
Whereas
see
on
if
Sonics, you've got several big players.
Furia
Ambi
bounce
and
back.
Vulture both on double digits already. Aimkey needs to not get taken
And I'm
out
excited
early
to
for
co-stream.
Thrive to have success is what it's been looking like so far.
But I'm not
Only
really.
one round.
I don't know.
Thrive has won with him dead. He's looking for a spawn peek, but he'll get it. Inky, high risk, but high reward. Brava, an incredible operator on this map, is now dead. And more importantly, Thrive have the
Super
opening
on the
pick
Brava
for
has
the first
not been
time
a
since
successful
round
endeavor
7.
most of the time. I understand he's gotten 2/3 of his
round
kills
6.
on the Brava.
They won round 7,
But
but he had
his-
the opening death.
His utility plan on the operator has
Well,
been
needed
less than
adjustment for
ideal,
Thrive.
and this
They
is
knocked
now
on
his
the
third
doorstep.
opening death
Over
as
time,
well.
if they can secure this round, that's Brava off the board as well. So a lot of that info we've talked about with default cameras and maybe even denying a little bit of information. There's a bullet camera on the board, which there is Thrive, is now down the drain. But the primary attack by Sonics could still do just fine. Sense is on the board. They've got Amaru in play, and Ambi, funnily enough, is the one with the diffuser. So maybe he'll hop in from West Main after Merc gets his control and trophy after Scarhook goes off.
I like the little adaptation with the Gara
Here
hook.
comes the utility, but Candle destroys Adam Moses.
does not do anything.
Now, with the
Immediately
only kill going
dies.
Sonics
Doesn't really help that
away
his teammates
onto
were all dead
Cryptics,
too,
a
though.
3-piece
Good anchor play for
for
Moses,
to
honestly.
finish it
Really
off
good
with the
play.
C4. Sonics go for their own fast, aggressive.
These have been really
play, but
interesting
it's the
rounds because they've
same
just
look
been
they've
so
already given Thrive, and that time they were
direct.
down a man.
You know, there's
Just
absolutely
like you see
zero
from
map
Sonics,
clear
you
going
cannot
on the
thrive
majority
with
of
that
these
place.
rounds. There's so many early
And great
gunfights.
start
Oh my
by
god, you got
Thrive with
spawn
an early
peaks.
opening
Jesus.
kill, and they still had somebody by trophy, so the
That's
cutoff angle
unfortunate.
was instantly shut down. There was no earlier pressure put up.
I don't know.
front, so
It's not my
finding
favorite type of
a
siege
player
to
wasn't
watch,
really
to be
too much
honest.
of a threat. Everyone was just in the right place at the right time for Thrive.
BDS takes
Before the
first,
attack
as is
even
tradition.
began,
I'm excited to
Moses
see who
was
gets second, though.
already dealt with swiftly. Now they're knocking on the doorstep of overtime, and they'll go back.
What's up, Azazel?
to
Not going to
Bari
read that.
Gaming, which they've not been really all too successful with defending this objective. This is say here.
They had a drone on Moses. I find Sonics, when they've had intel on people, have been very just like eager to jump in and take fights rather than like.
They've only been able to do that once, and that was off of Ambi walking in.
I find intel
without
on players has often
double
been more of a
checking if there's anyone
disadvantage for
playing
Sonics than an
fireworks.
advantage, because they
Right,
just like
their
they get a
loss
little
was
excited
bad,
and they
and their
jump at
win
the
was
chance to get
really
a
off
kill
the
off
back of
intel and
Inky.
they get punished.
Getting two really impactful kills. See how Bar shapes up this time. We've got pretty much the Same
Okay,
lineup
Sens
that we've seen them
for
play
bar
all 3
games.
rounds on bar
I've seen
so
this
far now.
before. You can throw it through the
Exact same lineup.
bar
A little bit
drone
different
hole,
from Sonics though, pulling out Sense.
or I guess the game's drone hole,
So another
and then it cuts off back
smoke-based
bar.
attack coming in. And this time they'll have someone
The
that the defenders can't
problem
shoot
with
back
it
at
is you can
unless
kind of
Moses
just
is in a
walk
proper
through the
position
Sens
to help
wall.
stop that plant.
Aimcleve is going really aggressive here.
But I
Expecting
guess
someone
it's a
just
little
kind
bit better
of
than just
waiting
like
for him to
having
stop the
somebody.
window.
You know, I
almost
guess
thought
if
we were gonna see
you've,
him climb up the ladder, that could have been a free kill for Aimkey.
I guess
Cuts
it's
down the
easier to
drone
kill
and
somebody walking through a
continues
Sens
to
wall than
dart
somebody who
around
can
the
play
map
behind the
and try out this
reinforcement.
information as quickly as possible against the
You can also
Sonics, who
throw a lot of shit.
look
It's also
to
just like
use
very
Elixir
obvious where you're pushing
as a
from.
way to help deal
Like
with
you're
this
going to be
library
jumping in the
presence
window.
up
Any
above, and I'm sure
throwable
they've
should
got
be able to
plenty of
deny
ways
it.
to deal with those keeper barriers. So maybe they're just waiting on the rest of Sonics to set up before they initially spark away this Azami.
I wonder when all that.
There's only
smoke
one
ability
C4
is
though on
gonna
the side
come
of
out to
Skunky.
facilitate
He is in sight.
plant attempt. We have
There is a
Warden attempting
Warden
to lurk up
too,
those main
who's
stairs,
also
open the
in
bar
sight.
stock wall to make
Nah, I
the
don't think
position
this push
significantly
works.
weaker, but
I
it's
think
being
this goes
stopped by a
overtime.
mute jammer. First projectors come
Now they
out.
know it's going to be a Sens too.
Mute jammer gets dealt with. The wall is now open. There is a shield in the hallway, so it looks like Thrive kind of read into that, but the position isn't fully covered. More utility being sent in by
Moses'
Sonics
spot
using
is
a
really
lot of
important.
grenades. They've only got one
Because
left.
Moses
Merc
can
gets
kind of
opening
pinch the
pick,
Sens
and it's
wall.
on to none other
Ooh, they're
than
nading the
Aimkey
drone
mentioned how
hole.
important it is
Sens
for him to
walling
stay
twice
up,
from the window.
maybe trying a little bit too hard to get something done, and now
And then
the plan
immediately dying to a
attempted, the
C4.
comes out,
You
but
know
it's
what? It was a good
successful.
idea.
And now it's a man advantage for Thrive.
They did what they
as the
could.
Diffuser is lost in the bomb site, but this is where the glass comes into play. Hops in through the smoke. Skunky doesn't even know what hit him.
Okay, and
There's
Gritcher's
another
going crazy on the
reversal as
glass?
Moses tries to come
Maybe
back
it doesn't
in.
go overtime?
Cryptic's now using that hole that Ace made, puts us
There's a lot of time on the clock too, and they have Diffuse
Candle
Kit.
is so lit up.
Crypt
The
almost
attackers have
TK'd.
funneled their way into the bomb site. This is mainly going to be on Cryptic.
Oh my god, Crypt, you've got to hit your fucking shots, buddy. Now in a 1v1.
1 versus 1. The Super
Cryptic!
Sub against the Child Phenom, and Ambi wins it out. Sonics, by the skin of their teeth, take the final round of the game, and they win it 7-5.
Phenomenal utility usage
tough
once
game.
again by Sonics and filling in the
That's a tough
void
game from
when
Cryptics.
needed.
That's a tough one from Cryptics. The whole map, not just that moment. Unfortunate. Well, congratulations to all the super haters, everybody who gambled that he would not get more than 5 kills. The biggest super hater, Aurora, will get the lion's share of the channel points here. Chat, we got 3 more BO1s to watch today. The next game is going to be starting in about, I would say 10 to 15 minutes. Probably like 10 minutes. And it will be Makers versus Aerial Arise. What's up, Battery? Battery, are you doing any observing for Element 3? Have you been observing these games? Or do you know who is observing these games? All right, Justin. One of 2 things is going to happen now, Justin. One of 3 things is going to happen, Justin. A, you're going to give me 5 subs, as per our bet. B, you're not going to give me 5 subs, and you're going to get banned for not holding to your word. Or C, you're not going to get 5 subs, and I'm going to forget. Battery, who observed game 1? Because I got a bone to pick with one of you. And was it a different person from who observed game 2? It was 10? It was 10? Justin, you don't have to out yourself like that. GG's, Battery. Game 3 coming up next, chat. If you're just jumping in, we are starting game 3 soon. Again, I'd give it like 10 minutes. Let's do the R6 still. What bone pick with map 1? For like half of map 1, you were using the minimalized HUD with no KD. Aim key! You did lose. You got a sick ace, though. Aim key, you aced. That's all people are going to remember. You aced against the pro team. Honestly, a fun game. Super was meant to ace, not you. Let's run the R6 still, yeah? Oh no, I'm finishing the GeoGrid. The HUD auto goes to minimize, so we're not used to expanding it. All right. I understand, battery. I will accept that answer. Okay, while we wait for game 3, chat, can we think of a flag that's only red, white, and blue in a landlocked country? A landlocked country with a red, white, and blue flag. Am I cooked? Are there any? There has to be. Fuck, I should have saved Luxembourg for this. What is the Liechtenstein flag? Liechtenstein flag is definitely red and blue. I don't know if there's white. I think we lose here. I actually cannot think of a flag. I might just send Liechtenstein. Does San Marino have any red? Probably not. Moldova? I think Moldova has yellow. Belarus? Wait, what's the flag of Belarus? It's red and green. No. Mongolia? Red and blue? I don't think there's any white. What the fuck is the flag of Laos? Isn't Nepal's red, white, and blue? Wait, isn't Nepal's red, white, and blue? I'm sending Nepal. Oh my god, I'm crazy with it. Czechia, that would have been a better guess. Yeah, should have thought of that one. Straight up did not remember that was a country. My fault. Oh well, we probably get more points for Nepal anyways. All right. Red, white, and blue flag. Capital city under 500K. Liberia. What? What the fuck is Liberia's capital city, and how does it have so many people? Liberia capital city. Monrovia. Monrovia population. Huh? Liberia flag? That shit's red, white, and blue. It's pronounced Czechia. Yeah, that's what I said. Czechia. Or I said Czechia. My bad. Wrong city. Capital of Liberia. I can't type. What? Oh. 1.7 mil. All right. Fuck you. We lose. Tough. Landlocked country with a high GDP per capita. Give me... Liechtenstein, probably. How do I spell Liechtenstein? L-I-E? Alright. Landlocked country in Europe. Give me Austria. I already guessed Austria. Right. Give me Hungary. Red, white, and blue. We tried that one. Capital city under 500k. GDP per capita over 50k. Rich, small nation. Rich nation with no people in the capital city. Ottawa's over 500k, surely. Is Helsinki over 500k, do you think? Iceland, maybe? Is Iceland rich? Is Iceland rich? Reykjavik might be over 500k is my only concern. Do you think Australia's capital is over 500k? I don't think it is. New Zealand's capital? They're like close, I'm sure. I'm just gonna go with I've used all the small European countries. Dude, the small European countries are so good for this map. Fuck it, let's go New Zealand. I'm terrible. Give me small city, small country in Europe. Give me Andorra. God damn it. What were the options? Flag red, white, and blue with a small city. Australia, it is under 500k. Iceland's flag is red, white, and blue? Oh, I guess. New Zealand and Australia. So they just don't have a high enough GDP. Fuck. Brunei has a GDP capita of over 50k? Australia would have worked for that, but New Zealand didn't. I forgot Monaco existed, I won't lie. Depressed. 1v1uchess.com? Absolutely not. Let's do the R6 still. We start with Hibana. Okay, chat, we're looking for a release date female attacker. Not Breach, not Frontline, not Viper Strike. Not Breach, not Frontline, female attacker. Twitch comes to mind. Is Twitch Viper Strike? Who fucking knows? Anybody else? IQ? The problem is, like, IQ and Twitch both could be considered frontline. What other release operator attackers that are female are there? Ashe, but Ashe is definitely frontline. And honestly, maybe even Breach, because she's soft Breach. Okay, the release operators are Ashe, Thermite on attack. The UK had Thatcher and Sledge, not women. France has Twitch and Monty. Germany has IQ and Blitz. And then Russia has Fuse and Glaz. So it has to be Twitch or IQ. I'm not going to consider Ash because she has to be frontline. Of those, I think Twitch is less likely to be Viper Strike and also less likely to be frontline. I'm going to go Twitch here. Boom! Crushed it. Frost is not a release operator. Isn't she? No. Frost was year 1, season 1. Not release. She was first DLC, yeah. Frost is also not an attacker. Also a good point. Maybe a more disqualifying point. She is a woman. I'll give you that. All right. We're going to do time guesser where we have to guess the time and place. Unfortunately, we've immediately gotten a Nazi one. That looks like the flag of France. This all looks French. I'm going to guess this is when, like, Hitler came in and took Paris. I'm going to say we're in Paris. Chat, when was World War II? I'm so bad at dates. Okay, the 30s were the Great Depression. No. Yeah, the 30s, I think, were the Great Depression. And then there was a war. I believe the 40s were World War II. Is that crazy? 1948. That sounds like Hitler time to me. 1944. Okay, pretty good. American naval officers saluting the French military. Oh, they're just regular salutes. Oh, I fumbled my way in very hard. I thought it was Nazi salutes. They're just regular salutes. I forgot people saluted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. World War II ended in 45? That's pretty good for me then. I'd take that. That's pretty fucking good. Clubhouse for Makers versus Aerial Arise. I'm going to keep that on my other monitor so I don't miss the start of the game. Oh, I think I might be starting right now. Okay, quickly. We got Andy's boats. It looks like we're overseas. This guy looks like he's in the military. This says Cyprus. Okay. I'm gonna send Cyprus then. Maybe just in the main capital city. All right, and they're doing operator bans. This also looks like World War II era. Maybe a little after World War II. Give me like 1950. It was Cyprus. I was 24 years off. Okay. I don't think that's that bad.
This is such a
Jesus, that was loud.
match.
Sorry.
Is not as Makers have had Ariel's number pretty consistently. So I'm sure
Okay, two of the
Aerial
best
Arise are
tier 2 teams
more
in
than
North
even
America.
Clubhouse, which
Makers
here
versus
on
Aerial
Clubhouse,
Arise.
I mean,
This
like
should
you
be
just
fun.
mentioned, They played it in their best of 3, and Makers
We
won it
shall gamble.
7-5. They brought 6 karma.
This feels
all
like a
the way to
simple
match
who
point
wins.
on this.
Makers
may
in
be
regulation,
hard on this map.
Makers
This is a
in
hard
overtime,
You do not beat
Aerial
hard
Arise
very
in
often
overtime, or
on
Aerial
Clubhouse.
Arise
Makers
in
managed to do it
regulation.
probably with the aid of, Packer and Giddy both being ex-Carnage B prodigies, I guess you could say. Now, Monty and Dokkaebi both off the board.
Predict now.
Very different bans than what we saw in map 1. Instead, we had the Grim in the place of Dokumi, who both fill very different roles.
Although Grim and Capitao still used quite a lot in Clubhouse, I think we made that talking point in Upper Deck and WildCard. We're playing amongst one another on the exact same map. Just
Guys, that was pretty
today.
good. I was only a couple years off the end of World War II. That's not that bad.
It was Azami. She was played almost every single round last time on
How was my
Clubhouse. No matter what
festival? The
extension
Calgary
you play her,
Stampede?
she will
It was
have
good.
some sort of use
I met the
for
Hawk
stall
Tua girl.
time and sacrificing resources to
Greg, I don't think was at the
So,
festival,
makes a
but
lot of
Hawk
sense to
Tua
get her off
was.
the board. That does leave operators like Mira and Cade still available, though. They are just cornerstones for a basement floor defense, and you still have plenty of other stall operators like the Wamai.
I was meeting the Hawk Tua girl, and this is not a joke, as Donald Trump was getting shot.
Off of stairwells or open hatches, and they just simply drop back down and play in towards the site where they can bundle up.
As Donald Trump's ear was being ripped to pieces by a bullet, I was getting a drink from the Hawk Tua girl.
Is just to shoot drones and fall off. That's it. They're gonna play.
And if you don't know who the Hawk Tua girl is, you're probably better off for
to
it.
accomplish two things.
And you're also probably not on TikTok very
One,
much.
Aerial can be slow.
Justin hit the nail
One
on
of
the
their biggest
head.
criticism. Sometimes they are just really, really slow, and they end up executing with not enough time remaining, and they collapse.
All right.
Two, you do
Well,
not
chat,
want
there's
to
two
give
things
those
in life
early
I
engagements to
enjoy. If
people
you've
like
watched me
Snake,
for a while, you know
like
there's
W,
two things in
and
Rainbow
Rios.
Six Siege
You
I
need
am
to
a
do
fan of.
everything
Those things are Poison
possibly
and
can
Osa, and
to
wouldn't you
not
know it,
let the entry players on Aerial get hot.
Poison
If you
is
fully
playing
total
Osa.
up And force Aerial to make the first move.
Let's
you're putting
fucking
yourself in
go.
a prime position to shut those guys down.
Poison's playing Osa on a
Seems like Kobe would be the
clubhouse bottom
main
floor
defender that's
attack,
actually
and
roaming
if
this
you were here at
little
the
bit.
start of the stream, you'll know that I'm
He's top
prepping
of the
a
floor.
stream/YouTube video
Multiple
where we
packs
dissect
distributed up
Osa.
above, even by the flat wall, just to
And
stall
this
that
is
control.
one of the most common bomb sites
Aerial arrives,
for Osa to
Strobel's
be
like
brought.
Gordon,
Typically,
Stairs,
Osa on this
but
bomb
again,
site can be
you've
brought
got
either
a
dropping the
straight
kitchen
fall-off
hatch
point towards
or
the bomb
dropping
site.
the
There's
moto
too much
hatch,
going on
unsurprisingly.
in front of you. Just about a minute
And
before
the
you go
idea
live, you
is,
still have
especially with the
plenty of
kitchen
drones
hatch,
live and
as
all
you
that
drop,
can
you've got
gather
the shield in
information.
front of you
But
so
again,
you can be
Makers,
protected
their entire
from the
goal is
people
just to
who are
waste a
trying
little
to
bit of
end
time
your
and safely
life.
fall back into the site. The only person
Of
really
the
coming
people
to
who like
kills
this
right now
push,
could be
Mentalist
Kobe,
really
just
likes
based
this
off the fact
push.
he might get misdrawn this time.
Matumbo, what the fuck is
Bro,
that
at least
Goyo
Goyo's
canister?
set up on
Sorry,
soft launch.
Matumbo really likes.
Maybe
What?
some
What are
force
these
Aerial
Goyos?
attempt to breach in,
Sorry,
the drone still has
sorry.
no spot.
I'm really trying to
Makes his way
educate.
back to
But
side.
these are some of the most
At-
insane Goyos I've ever seen in my
believe
life.
Kobe is now
I guess you get stall out of them.
not at
These
least
are like
basic
guaranteed
bomb
Goyos.
site.
If they're gonna
Don't
clear
worry
you,
about
you're gonna get stall and you're gonna know about it.
those attackers.
Just absurd. They didn't even bring a buck, by the way.
Just spots Indra through the crack in the doorway. and is
Anyways.
forced back upstairs, back into the Lions.
Matumbo and
Den. There's a
Mentalist
player
both really
waiting
like
for
this
him in
Osa
master
strat.
bedroom. Another
Two
drone
of the
comes
goats,
out.
if you
Hatch
ask
gets
me.
popped open. No, I don't know what he just impacted. Floor to maybe get an angle on Inrio from above through in stock. They're
I get
hunting
the
him down.
idea of these Goyo canisters, by the way. It's obviously
Nope,
like,
he's tucked to the opposite
if you're gonna
corner.
get
Now
roam
they
cleared
spot
by
him.
a
There's
buck,
another
he'll
player
pop
coming
open
in
the
from
wall and
garage,
then
Kobe Lax
stall.
finally gets done and dusted, but 2 minutes off the clock, John.
Honestly, for that roam from Kobe,
By Kobe,
it felt like a huge disaster, but they wasted a lot of good time.
Or actually 3, my mistake, because Warden's in play as
All right,
well.
so
Gives
Poison
Kobe
is
a
likely
smart
going to
blast
try
into
to
the
drop
nine,
the
Capitao Snow
kitchen
into
hatch
the
here. It
very
could be a
back
moto
of the
drop
room.
instead,
It's
but I'm
gonna
going to
make the
guess
job
at this
of
point it's going to be
very taxing
a
when it comes to actually
kitchen hatch
clearing out
drop.
this map. And they
He
only
does not
have
have
these
frag grenades.
for the cave.
Usually
Only
Osa on this site will
tricky
bring
against
frag
your wall
grenades
or
so that you can
moto hatch.
spam
That
the
could've been a very dastardly thing for
so that you
Airlines
can
to be able to do.
spam back armory as you drop,
Luckily for them,
and
they
you're
have a
just
hard
less
reach
likely
now,
to get
no
shot,
problem.
or you could
There's
spam
only 25
dirt
seconds
or
left.
wherever
What
you
did I
wanna
say
spam
earlier? Aerial
to enable your
have
drop.
a tendency
They brought
to
Capitao for that
really
purpose
slow
instead.
and
That's
stall out.
fine.
Now with
I'm
the
a
first
little
to the
worried about
20-second mark,
magnets,
and this is where
and I'm
Makers
very
are gonna
worried about
try and
Packer.
make their stand
They
and
have to kill
aggressive.
Packer
Look at
before they
Packer's
drop.
position, just
Good.
waiting for the guy under the
Ah, he's
hatch.
gonna
He
go
just
Ash
expect
Wall
Poison
instead.
to come
That's
to
the other way
two-way
people
wall.
run this.
Setting up the Osa shield, getting the backwards plant. Giddy the first
Now,
one
can
for
they
his
do
team.
anything to
Lose
stop
another one, but
this?
Giddy now falls.
Nah,
The plant is
no.
being completed by Poison. It's all up to
Nah, this
Bino.
is a good Osa push.
1v3 post plant. As the attackers retreat
Bino,
upstairs,
what
an
on
aerial
earth are
arrives
we doing?
despite the low time,
All
turning
right.
things around,
Honestly,
thanks to
I mean,
Poison being able to sneak his way through.
You do that in smokes, I think it's just as
Solid
effective,
job of at least
but
spotting
fair
that
enough.
small opening again.
They got a lot of
Having
good
someone
picks
playing on
before
that
they went for
kitchen
that
hatch
execute. They
allows
killed
you
Kobe
to
on the
get through
roam.
that
They
single
killed
wall,
Packer with
so
Vert.
long as you have it open and actually work yourself
Technically it
into, in
wasn't
this
Vert.
case, Poison had to.
I'm
crawl
surprised they
all the
didn't
way to
realize
site
that the
and
ash wall
utilize
was
the
open.
talent shield to protect him whilst going in for that plant because there were no impact grenades. Makers had to
Packer and I were
close
both in the
gap
same wavelength because that
to
was going to be a
break that
kitchen
talent
drop, and then
shield,
it just
which,
absolutely
again,
was
someone
not.
playing on the hatch swiftly denies that. So good on Air Rise for realizing how futile it would have been to clear out all of blue and all of Church plus Moto with only 20 seconds left when they already have kitchen hatch control and they could easily just sneak somebody in from bottom.
Is there
main, so
Twitter
long as you
beef?
don't die.
It looked like even if Poison hadn't
Is
killed
there
Packer
drama
I think
today?
They had info because the Capitao started pre-firing him as well, so he was a dead man walking. But yeah, Poison being able to sneak through.
Hold
Absolutely
drama going on
massive.
as we speak.
2 kills for himself.
All right, just gonna mute this while we read the drama. All right, Rival, who's a tier 2 player that I do know of, plays for Fluffy Aimers. They're playing later tonight. WildCard Academy are trying to hand out our strat book since their coach traveled with us and kept all the documents. And he's adding Nebsy. Okay, hold on. Was going through shared drives. I still have access to all of the Fluffy Aimers strats. Do you guys want them? It's scummy, but since we're out of E3, I don't care. Jesus Christ. And then he's like, no. What the fuck? He says I wasn't handing it out. What? I think any coach I was in would do the same. It's happened many times before. I mean, this has happened before, but that doesn't make it right. Before NAL 73, I'd been on Mirage as assistant coach. Due to this, I had access to all their strats. I promptly let their coach know, did not open any of them, and then transferred ownership. Have morals. Yeah, 100%. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Nebsy is in the wrong there. That's insane.
Oil pit. Snake does have the cutoff.
I'm glad that people were like
safest option
pretty normal about that.
Minute and a half left is Aerial.
If you're like stealing strats in tier 2, like that's only gonna hurt your chances to make tier 1 in the future. I don't even think it's smart to take that, or of course it's not smart to offer that, because now nobody's gonna want to play with you or work with you going forward.
A 4v2 advantage for Aerial with a whole minute left to play.
Oh, Aerializer shitting on Makers to start off this game, though. Back-to-back Clubhouse basement attacks if they can convert this 4v2.
The same thing follows up. Snake drops the Moto Hatch, kills the guy in church, and now Woos has been downed by, I think, a Selma charge. Leaving just Bino.
All right, Bino, back-to-back rounds. Okay, Bino is not the worst. Bino is not the worst offender in back-to-back rounds, but Bino's play has been horrendous these last 2 rounds. Bad aim and bad decision making.
These guys played their best of 3 on Clubhouse. Aerial were only able to win 2 rounds the whole game on their attacking split. They've matched that already, and we're 2 rounds in. So
want to make a thread addressing the situation between myself and the Fluffy Aimers team.
Down to review, seeing how Makers play.
With all my decisions, 1 out of 9. Jesus. Nebsy trialed.
On this map. Aerial are. I know Poison is like a big
he found the
guy,
strats.
so I'm sure that's coming into play.
He got his hands on the
Makers need to find
strats.
some way to switch things up.
They used them and lost.
To do so on a brand new bomb site. Jim,
And so he offered them to somebody else?
Again, no major change in operator lineups. I mean, they've got Bandit now to trick the wall, now allowing the mute as well to put some emphasis over by the cache extension. That way there's even more wall denial altogether. And Aerial Rise bring out both the Thermite Ace on top of a Thatcher. I mean, they're going to have no problem getting all these walls opened
Dude,
up, so
like, how the fuck is this shit ever going to be taken seriously when this shit keeps happening, man? If you are a tier 2 coach or player or anything and you at all want to be taken seriously, don't engage in this shit. The second you see it happening, tell whoever is engaging with that.
That was pretty ridiculous.
And tell whoever's strats are being shared around.
Makers,
because it is like the competitive advantage you are getting is nowhere near worth the hit to your reputation. And even if it was,
people holding it as well.
Like,
Aerial Rise,
you're
of
not even
course,
playing for
have the
fucking
double up on the hard
serious
breach,
money.
they'll likely open up that server wall.
Just insane to
meta
me.
has
Insane to me that that
really
shit
favored
continues to happen.
Full cash clears so far. We don't really see
Also,
a
how
whole
you
lot
lose
of,
when you steal strats
what
anyways
we used to
is
see, where
hilarious.
You just open the wall and sit there, and then have someone.
Actually
close on the
amazing that they
top,
lose
control
despite
the
stealing
window,
strats.
And then you play Metal
Or
Bout.
don't get
It's been
caught.
full
It's
cash
not even
clears
worth
For the
trying.
most part, 99% of the time.
There's
Woo's
very
getting an
little
opening pick,
upside
and there's Inreal
to
not
a
expecting
huge
Pack to be
downside.
playing close on the
If you're
wall.
engaging in that
There's
shit, like your
where
career takes a
Makers
serious
have
hit.
Success. Getting crazy, getting a little bit ridiculous, catching Aerial Rise off guard with weird positioning like that. It's kind of a
Almost like I
similar,
said, Aerial Rise is the best tier
similar
2
to
team.
how we
Trust me
had
more.
with,
All right,
you know,
hold on.
Upper Decky and
Worth 2
WildCard.
rounds
If
in.
you throw that major wrench into WildCard's plans, you can really trip them up, and that's what Makers need to do against a Poison team.
Not overplaying their hand either. They give up cash when they realize that they've already done enough damage in that portion of the map. They reinforce off the con single wall, so they can play off of that Logi Mira a little bit easier, and now making a choice for Poison to get this back breach opened up. I'm not sure if they got Jacuzzi wall opened up, so this could be a very limited attack for Aerial Rise, where they only have Highway to go off of, which those are still closed. They have to use a breaching charge by Mike W to open up these positions.
Okay,
Now
this is
Highway
not good for
goes
Aerial
off of,
Rise.
and Con,
Now
where
it's a lot
Poison
worse.
Just died with a diffuser dropped in the midst of cash, so now it's
How the
just
fuck did
Thatcher and
Poison
Buck.
go down in
No,
cash? Did
let
he get
alone
flanked?
Highway, and they're already being shot at.
Yeah, Woo's
I don't
having a
think
huge
so.
Inside of Jim, 2 picks already, and now prone behind the weight rack, daring this player. To
Whose
jump into
POV
that
is this? Oh,
window.
it's Snake's
Snake and
POV.
Mike
God, the
W
new HUD is
very
ass.
disconnected
Sorry.
Here. They are isolated. They're gonna have to win at least 2 1v1s each. If they
I
wanna
mean,
have
yeah,
success in
Makers
this
just
round. Snake
go
very
for
strong,
trades
so
and they should be
potentially a
fine.
Logi, but he's chasing Ghost. Jumpin comes in from the Thatcher, but Woo's with 3 to kill Snake. Leaves Mike W twisting in the wind inside of Jim, trying to fight against a mirror window, and of course, that's not going to work. 3 huge
Yeah, we
kills
didn't
for Woo's to
follow
get
this
Makers on
this quarter
Once they
that
found those 2 or 3
closely.
kills,
I'm glad
they're
Bino
just
finally got an
allowed
exit kill at the end of the
Aerial
round.
Rise to stall.
But
They
those
had no
basement
other
defenses
junction-
didn't feel good
junction
from
push
Aerial
for them.
Rise.
So they were just waiting on them.
Or
to
sorry,
go
from
their
Makers,
way
from
and kinda
Makers, from
pushing through
Makers.
Con whilst they had a mirror window in
Um,
Logi. The hatch completely closed off still, and no.
And credit to
info
Aerial Rise, they got their
given
pushes
in
going
since
pretty
someone's
well.
over
But
flank
Maker's
around
losing a
Vader,
lot of bodies
trying to go
early.
backwards
What's
to Goose
Kobe's
again.
KD right now
Poison
too?
had to use his
Because I feel like
last
Kobe
second
has not had the
to
best
go with
start.
that
Yeah, he's
single
0-2.
rather than going back to
Kobe Lax has got to
having
be
another
putting up better numbers
interest
than that.
established by the attack.
He's
But
currently
still,
the bottom
good
frag
quarter
of the
nonetheless
server.
for
He's
Aerial
supposed
Rise
to
in those
be
first 2 round
the
wins.
best player
Now
in the
they'll get to
server.
go on the defense
It's
floor.
early, so I'm not worried, but
Emphasizing a
that's
heavy
definitely part of the
on
reason why they've been
with
struggling.
Snake on Solus and Mike on the Vigil out of all options.
Is that received?
Yeah, they really want Makers to push into them here. Aerial do like their roams. Again, you know, with this more aggressive lineup after adding Snake, they roam a lot.
Bulletproof
they were very
impacts
roam-centric last round
Sentry
against
on
Makers as well.
basement.
Makers,
They're going to try to keep the kitchen hatch closed.
could
They're
be
bringing
used on the roam
6
here. I think that's
impact
where,
nades.
Packard likes to use it.
No, and now he's
He'll
roaming
save a couple
strip.
for the site execute, but he
I don't
really
know
likes
what
using it
Inrio's
on
cooking
his,
here.
on
He's
his
playing
roam clear. So
Sentry. He
look
put a
for Makers
bulletproof
to
in
isolate
sight, I believe,
some of
somewhere in the
those roamers
basement, probably
and
armory.
Candela immediately to go.
And now he's roaming strip with impacts.
Inrio
Now,
had a
they're
very
starting
aggressive
strip
roam.
side. Are they actually clearing
Remaining
this?
here,
He's
Audio
just running
Team
out.
will just run out. That'll be the case, but he's just short by a couple of inches.
Honestly, he
No
cooked with that
background, no
idea.
damage
He
done to his
just
body,
was a
but
little
still,
bit slow on the
been a
execution.
phenomenal start for Aerial Rise on that roam, shutting
That
down
could have
the
been really
flank
good
used
insight
for
too,
his
that they had just
above,
VOD
but
reviewed.
I'm not even too sure
That they
who
know
might
Makers
next
spawned
be
there,
around
and he
the
could have tried to
caution.
guess the timing, but he
So
was just
far has
off a
been
little
having
bit.
a pretty rough start so far on Clubhouse.
Is that worth it though? Like, you're dedicating almost an entire operator
He has
to one
2
bulletproof
open
and
depth.
like the ability to run out.
Hopefully we see him wake up on this Ash now. Now that he's on the attack, they've got this gym wall, jacuzzi wall open, moving their way through. There are no more defenders left on the top floor, it seems. So
I
the
guess
drones
what
will
else are you
quickly
taking?
confirm that. And Makers
A
will look to
Mozzie might be
move
nice
down
here,
to
but
the
you've
lower
already got a
floor.
ton of
Inrio
drone
watching
denial.
the hatch.
Probably
Very
just like a
early
Legion, just something with good guns anyways.
Poison, I believe, on main stairs. Snake
Maybe
also
you'd take an
supporting the
anchor. Maybe
sentry
you'd take like
from bar.
a Mira.
Makers have been making
Honestly, a
pretty
bit of
good
extra
time
sight util might have been
so
helpful. A
far,
Warden
but
would have been
I
great
feel like that's also because
for
Aerial have let them and fallen
holding down
back.
sight as
Aerial
well, especially against this Ying.
making a stand and fighting.
Oh, they're
Taking
not.
Kobe
They are
Locke's
not
that
checking.
opportunity to get on the board. There's one follow-up as he sees Mike
Is
W
he still
through
in
the
strip?
floor
Yeah, he
holes.
is. Well, he's in pool.
Inrio not responding just yet. Stuck in this
Okay,
corner,
Kobe is
drones
dead.
coming
Inrio's
out.
gonna kill Kobe
We don't
Lax.
see Inrio. The
Unless they're
second time has been
barricaded
misdropped.
in pool.
Looking for the
No, he's
perfect
not.
moment to
Okay,
strike.
Kobe Lax is dead as soon as
One
Inrio wants to
dropping down
move,
that hatch,
but
either
he's
the
dealt his
only
damage.
point of
Getting the
exposure
2K
that
there
Inrio
is
has to
fucking
focus on right now is that
really
hatch.
rough.
And no one's trying to
And now
challenge him.
Aerial Eyes have
He can
very
just
little
sit here
sight
and wait,
utility. They
allow
do have
Makers to feel
Goyos.
comfortable and strike when it matters most. And there it
Unlike
is.
Kobe
Now
Lax,
connecting
they're
that
actually using the
one
Goyo
over,
canisters for
essentially
sight,
up
which I think
above,
is the better way to
over
use them on
Star
this
Way,
bomb
playing
site.
inside a B1, hoping another person will try to contest him.
Opening the bathroom barricade makes his position a little bit more exposed, though, looking to catch someone off guard. But all he needs
But,
to
like,
do is
Inrio
sit
is
down and
dead.
waste time. The longer he stays alive, the worse it
They
is
use
for
one
Makers,
Candela
who
on
either
him and he's dead.
dedicate more time
Where are
and
they-
utility to clearing him out and have
They just
less
used
of
all
the
3 of their
sight, or they
Candelas to
leave
hit
him out
sight?
there and
Okay,
have
they're
to worry
ignoring
about a
him?
flank, but it looks like they're just going to try and capitalize on the lower sight presence. Packer Candela-ing his way in.
It's potential for Inrio to come back. He just has to win a 1v1, I think,
Getting
against
this plant
Giddy.
down already more than halfway through, and it's been completed.
He's a little
Makers
slow.
with
Oh,
a
he went
flawless
okay.
adjustment to
He dropped
Inrio
Moto. I see.
sneaking around upstairs. Aerial Arise find themselves in a post plant.
Poison's a
Poison
little
doesn't know
lost.
which way to look. Packer easily kills him. It's all up to Inrio now. The man who got the surprise frag on Kobe can't find
Well,
any
I don't think it
others
really
as
worked.
Makers make sure that the round does not spiral out of control.
Ultimately, Aerial Arise brought a very roam-heavy bomb site, and they got shit on the roam.
Top floor was
Very
completely
roam-heavy
focused by
setup, I
Aerial
should
Eyes,
say.
but also spotting some of the weak points
When are Element
in
3
that defense. There was
playoffs?
no one guarding the main stairs position, so Kobe simply walked down and got
Couple
2
weeks
kills
from
through
now, I
troubles, and
think.
because stock was opened up with the hatch already shot.
I
open
think
by
Element 3
defense,
playoffs
that
are the
allowed for
first
Ying to
weekend of
reposition over there
August.
and have a pretty straightforward access way.
So
into
I
the
think it's
bomb site
August
with
2,
the
3,
other 2
4.
defenders
Oh
closer
my
by
God.
Turk. I didn't think they had a guy playing inside of blue.
Yum.
So Makers once again had more
Shot.
info at their disposal.
I just got
they
a
spotted that
feast.
opening and they immediately
Holy
took it. They
shit.
didn't take too long to tunnel vision on Inrio as he was already a big enough problem.
Okay,
as is,
I
just
have
finding
grilled
one
cheese,
put any more emphasis
grilled in a
on the
panini
century.
press.
You could have maybe lost another
I
body,
have
or even
tomato
worse,
soup,
maybe
which I'm
seen
not going to
down
show you because it's a very full
40
bowl.
seconds left.
I have
I love
croutons
that call
for my tomato soup,
from Makers and
and
likely Packer and Beano
I have
both making that
appetizer
call.
slices of cheese.
Now, Jim being the site for Aerial Arise, similarly to Makers, they've got a lot of dedication over towards the cash side of things.
And
Playing
it's
the
real
very aggressive
cheddar,
they did as
none of
well.
that American
What's
shit.
interesting about Makers defense too is they had the Mira on gold, looking into A, which is I would say more common.
Top of my
nowadays.
head, what teams do I think losing
Still
Oregon will
typically
affect most?
mostly see, the bathroom Logi one, but I do like the gold vault one.
It was a good map for WildCard.
People Logi and never giving
It was a pretty good map for BDS.
Snake hoping for an early kill. Oh, spots the gun barrel, but isn't able to fall back through the barricade. He didn't fall through the right way. And
Snake's
got
gotta
to
pick up the Legion or something, man.
Makers once
I
again
don't
starting
Snake.
off on the
I don't
right
know
with
that
their
the
attacking
vigils
half.
are up.
Primary roam are gone, and now the rest of Makers look forward to clearing out the rest. Of
It's
this
also
top
just the
floor,
way
essentially
that the
by
attacker
dash
took
side
that
of the map.
gunfight,
Maybe
like-
even opening up Jacuzzi because again, that was a
Maybe
position that
Vigil's
wasn't
fine,
dealt
but just
with
like hold that with the
effectively
boss
by
G or
Aerial
something,
Eyes,
you know?
funnily enough. They lost too many
Hold that with the
bodies
boss
early
G and
on,
then fucking
and were
sprint
forced to
away as
tunnel
soon as you
into
miss.
Con and Highway, but early on, Makers already looked to deal with that con position and then relocate elsewhere.
Being able to take
Cheddar is
Snake
white?
off the board early is.
Do they have Canadian cheese like American cheese?
playing
No.
against Aerial Arise.
We just have
It is
American
by far and
cheese.
away their best mechanical player.
The entire world can buy American cheese.
Lack of hubris being shown. Who knows? See if he dials it back.
Well,
into,
actually, don't. It's probably
later
not
in the
very
game.
popular
Kobe
in
Lax
like
coming under fire,
Europe and
lead from
Asia,
W,
but
survives to
in
fight
Canada
another
we can.
day. Wall is now open.
I'm sure you can
Next
get
up
it
for
somewhere in
Makers.
Europe.
Get rid of Brios. Playing on the red stairs, he's got a Goyo and a shield to his aid to rotate next to him. Inrio to support as well, but Woos takes out Poison, and that's another sight player now dead, making this cash player weaker by the second. The less players you have on site, the worse your extension is going to hold out. Brios coming under fire, I believe, from that Capitao holding this breach. Only other player left here is now Inrio, and they are very quickly caps.
You seem like a
collapsing
guy
around
that
him.
is
Now fully
lactose
blinded.
intolerant.
They're
What
gonna
do you mean
continue
by
to
that?
descend utility towards
What
him.
about me
We've got
gives
all the
lactose
angles covered.
intolerant
Inrio
vibes?
getting burned
An
out and
insane
finally
Twitch chat.
killed by Kobe.
What coordination to kill the last player stuck inside a cache? No other
All
options but to
Kobe
sit
needs is
there
a fucking
and burn away.
R4C and
There's
he is
still plenty
out
of
here,
time
dude.
left for Makers, just over 40 seconds left to go, and they're in a 5 versus 2. Air window opened up as well, be it by the defense. That could still be another angle to utilize by Makers early on. And they're not even trying to aggress too far into the bomb site. They're taking their time to gather info and set up highway pressure So they can push in as a cohesive unit and not just funnel in from one direction.
They don't call it cheese.
Here comes Kobe, the spearhead.
Yeah,
The
outside of
Ash,
America,
making space. The Thermite gets
you're
spotted,
usually
though.
not
Bino
legally
brought
allowed to
down.
call
Luckily,
American
though,
cheese cheese.
He's not the one with the case. It's Packer. Kobe makes more space in that bomb.
It's like
site
in
and gets the
Canada,
last
Kraft
two.
cannot legally
3
call
kills, I
Kraft
believe,
mac and
4
cheese
Kobe lacks on the round, and
mac and
with
cheese,
3 rounds in a row
so they call it
to take the
Kraft
lead.
dinner.
And it was a tough
'Cause
spot
it's
for
legally
Arrow Rise
not
because you think
cheese.
to yourself, not only losing your roamer,
Because other
but
countries in the
you're
world
gonna
have like
take away
actual
some of
food
that pressure
protections
by
for their
Ash and
consumers.
CCTV side of the map, simply flanking up Garage could have maybe netted a pick there for Snake, or if he had found an open spawn peak, that would have been basically the same thing. Not only did they lose their roamer early on, but Makers were doing a
Kraft
clinical
singles
job
instead of Kraft
clearing out
cheese.
the
Yep.
bomb site, having alert presence on that side of the map. So your players in Cash are essentially in a rock and a hard space where they're fighting people from CCTV and
Do I think Snake would have changed the round if he got that kill? I didn't watch the round that closely, I'll be honest. I was eating grilled cheese. But yeah, I mean, opening pick is massive. Starting the round in a 5v4 instead of a 4v5 is pretty huge. Still having a roamer down on the bottom floor.
Giving them any options to play for trades.
I didn't see exactly what went wrong for the rest of that round. Like, I don't know how Poison died.
Makers have taken
But
full control
again,
of
I
the
was
game.
looking at my cheese.
3 rounds in a row, looking to commit a flawless attacking quarter.
But probably.
I'll put them in prime position to start closing out the map after the 4-2 split that they had started, I believe, against Ariel in their first game. Be a repeat. Capitao coming out from Makers to try and clear these Rafters players, and we do have OMI on the board. That's Brios. Fenrir also being played. We haven't, who I think we haven't seen yet. Is this our first Fenrir?
I think so.
Is Poutine worth the
He
try?
hasn't played it at all map 1, and then map 2 he was banned.
Yes,
This is a first, yeah.
but get it from somewhere good.
It's so
In
weird
Canada,
that
you can
the
get
nerf
poutine
power-
from anywhere. You know, you can get it from
Oh, his
McDonald's.
pick rate's gotten up.
Don't get it from McDonald's.
I'm so used to seeing Fenrir almost every
Get it from, like, a-
whenever he's available, but now
Get it from like an
more,
actual poutine
he
restaurant,
is
like a
still
restaurant that
useful.
specializes
not
in
quite
poutine.
as impressive as he once was, and Mike W still does have 2 of his mines up. Wall has been open despite the mirror window, so again, step 1 has been complete. Makers probably looking to now go over towards the cash side of things and flush out those players in Rafters.
CC wall now opened up. Obi as well getting some pressure established, opening up the con single wall. It's not just all their eggs in one basket of Garage. They still have the Capitao to maybe deal
Is
with this
Fenrir
player
still
in
as
Rafters,
viable
but you have to
post
be
nerfs?
concerned.
As viable?
Magnets,
No.
And how you're going to get through those first.
Viable?
Maybe you have your
Yeah.
Sophia concussive blast to burn those away first.
Fenrir is not as
Not
good as he
only
used to be.
worry
The
about
nerfs
Sophia,
definitely
also
affected
maybe some
Fenrir,
extra help from
but
Mike
he
W,
is
as he's still playing
not
down below
a
the
bad
swamp. That
operator.
could be a really
He's
easy
just like
position
less
for someone just to set
universal
up
now,
and make sure
right?
no one
He
walks
just
into
covers
the
less
garage
than he
door,
used
or
to.
he could regress from bottom garage
So if you're on
door
a bomb
into
site
the
like
window.
without a ton of different entry points,
More info being gathered by Makers.
Fenrir can still be like really effective.
So far, he knows how important every
Like, he
single
still does what he
individuals
does
are
well,
with
he just
only
doesn't
4
cover as many
remaining
spots
for
as he
this
used to.
attack.
Because he only has
Kobe
2
seems like
active
he's
instead
aware
of
this
4,
player potentially on main stairs. It's the
and
vigil
only
of
4
Snake
total
lurking
instead of
around.
sorry, 2
He's
active instead of
starting
3,
to make
4
his
total
move.
instead of 5, right?
Maybe realizing that Kobe doesn't necessarily know about this flank potential. Hacker does start the killing off for Makers. Brios, one of those Rafters players, dead, but Mike W has an instant response on Giddy, the Capitao. Bino still stuck outside.
Is
this
it a
window
rematch
with
from
the case,
Swiss?
but Hacker
Yes.
now has 2, opening up this site to make way for his planter. Kobe dead, though. That shuts down one of those players downstairs and opens up the opportunity for a C4 from below.
Yeah, that's the only Hail Mary that Aerial Rise have left. Snake playing down below at Impacts, and Inrio having the hatch right next to him, and Khan that's opened up. Could also
This is a
allow
good
him to
point
play
that
down below
absolutely
himself.
nobody on
But
Makers is able
if
to
it
hold
were be
below
a
right
threat,
now.
The only other issue is
Like,
that
they
with
could
only
get the
one player
Zofia
left
down
on
there, but
site,
they're
that would
not.
be the only main line of
They might have a
defense.
drone down there,
In
but
comes
nobody's
the
watching the
plant.
drones.
1 kill from Mike W to confirm
They
the
just
triple,
missed their
but the
C4 though.
C4
I guess it's
from
fine.
Inrio misses.
He's planting
Plant
default
is
in Rio.
down, but Bino is dead.
This is
4
a winnable
kills from
1v3
Mike
for
W,
Woos.
But they have to get
He
rid
knows
of
he's
Woos,
gonna
who
get
is
run
on
out
one of
on.
the safest
It's not
positions
an easy.
on the map,
Wow.
but it doesn't
Dude,
matter.
Mikey's crazy.
Mike W is just
Back-to-back
that
aces in
guy.
2 games?
An ace for the Fenrir and
One
a tie
from
game
Amki,
for
one from
Ariel.
Mike. The 2 goats, as
Mike
I've
W
often said.
throughout these first 6 rounds has been oh so quiet, but when needed most, he sparks all 5 kills in the round and even gets the defuse to boot. Incredible display by Mike W, and Makers
Wow.
didn't even make the wrong play of trying to get aggressive there. I get it. There's a defender isolated in sight. You know there's two people down below.
I don't
It's
think
still
this is
guy
the
red,
least interesting
and
match
now
of the
we can
night.
watch one of
Like,
the
these are
only
two very good
positions
tier
that
2
the
teams
defense are gonna work
who
their way
honestly have a
back.
lot of history
It's not a
behind them
bad
and a lot of
idea. Mike
rivalries.
W was just a little quicker on
This
the
is just
draw
the most
there.
hungry
He had
match of
a
the night for me.
phenomenal display of mechanics throughout all of round number 6. It was an immediate entry by Packer, a second one to follow up, but it was just so much consistency by Mike W was enough to hold on.
Yeah, it seemed like every time Makers got a kill, Mike W was there to respond from red. It's really weird.
I think
that
this going to
so
overtime
many
is very
players from
likely.
Makers willingly expose themselves.
Very, very likely.
To him, especially
Just because these two teams are pretty even in strength.
Get out of sight, had
I
fight
want to see
Mike W, but I
fucking
feel like
better
the
basement
others
defenses from Makers, though.
stayed very passive, just covering rafters.
Because their
cover from
defenses in
outside
the
the
first
breach,
two
'cause it's
rounds
not
were
Mike
like,
W can
I don't know,
sprint
they were
past
just getting
the guy on
shit on in
breach
the
to
early
kill
rounds.
planter, just hold your
They just
position.
could not
Kept
survive.
beating him, and Mike
They're going
W,
back to the basement,
was
and
eating
this
good
looks like a
that round.
5-man anchor
Find
strat. I
ourselves
like
at a
this.
3-3. Sometimes a guy is just better in a round. Now we flip back to Makers defense, going on to Church, where they were unsuccessful twice in a row.
Top 3 in each group, Amkey.
It was 2 opening kills by Brios against
You're
Kobe,
in the tournament.
interestingly enough, and against 2 I would say
Top 3
fairly
in
rogue
each group.
compositions. Round 2 a little bit more
Honestly,
round-centric.
today's games
This time
are
around,
like
it seems like Makers
the
is
least
just
meaningful
wanna keep
game
things
that you'll
simple.
play.
They have more
right?
emphasis with the other
Because
team.
every other game
And
after
they
today,
still,
Amkey,
of
when you're
course,
playing
have the
teams
need
in your groups,
to extend up above, but,
if
know,
you
not
win,
emphasizing the castle
then that's
or
+1 for
patches.
you, but it's
They want
also
aerial
-1
eyes
for your
to waste
opponents.
a lot of their own time
Oh, that's on.
before
Okay,
trying
yeah.
to stop some sort of
If you
execute
lose, it's
inside
the
the
opposite,
basic
right?
core.
It's
Now, the
-1 for
interesting
you,
pickup
+1 for your
here is
opponents.
Poison on
Today's
Blitz.
game, since you
I wonder
lost,
if
it's
that's
still
gonna be used
-1
to
for
maybe
you in your
clear out
group,
the Roman
but
extension
Sonic's
or the
winning
Flash
doesn't
or
actually
Rise
matter
always
to you,
on the
right?
top to bottom clear, or if they'll just
Since
try
you're
to go
only
direct
competing
instead
against
with
players
that
in your
push.
group. So today's games are like the least important
I
of
imagine
any
it's
of the
a
group
late
stage
blitz
games. Does that make
just
sense?
because of the RAM. Like, a lot of times when you see the
Communication's
like,
been
fast
lackluster, to say the
immediate
least.
blitz
That's
play, like,
unfortunate.
you're gonna put all of your stock into that and not worry about other things. So, I imagine this is a clear the map. Once we have all our ducks in a row, then we send the train into the site.
I'm just looking at Wikipedia.
Makers,
'Cause
though,
Wikipedia
do
is
have
right
they
99%
have
of the time.
warden. They've got the mute set up who can potentially block those blitz.
I don't
flashes. They've got
actually
C4s,
know anything
too.
about
They've
the
got two
E3
of them. The blitz is gonna have to
format.
contest against,
I just look at the Wikipedia.
potentially, if he works
So,
his way down
if
A,
I'm
he's
wrong,
gonna have to
blame
do the mirror
Wikipedia.
window. Deal with the mirror window, I believe, on blue as well. But who knows? Could be dirt. That's where we see shield play a lot of times. Already, a lot of action happening thanks to Ram and her boogie drones. A lot of soft destruction over the hallway and in through kitchen. That allows the hatch to get open. And Brios, well, he actually
Thoughts on Amkey
Some barbed wire.
joining G2?
that could be it.
I don't think Doki has ever aced against
So maybe
Super.
later in the round, an oil pit drop
That should be all you need to
is
know.
Possible. Kitchen hatch opened up by the Exkyrus charges, and now Inreal will rotate back inside to stock. Could be a pretty straightforward position for the Capitao to clear in through, and again, having the spearhead of that blitz could make things.
Okay,
easier.
I love that they're actually anchoring
Where to
this
go
time.
from
The last two
there,
times Makers wanted to
space
defend this bomb
Church.
site, they went for really
There's
heavy
still over a
roams, and
minute
Kobe
for
got
Air
shit
Rise
on,
to
and it was just a
gather
very
information,
sad, bad
figure out,
time.
where exactly
Now,
Makers are defending
5 men in the
in this
basement.
space of 4 and a 5 versus 5, and maybe any isolated.
You've got a
defender that
Warden
can
to
come
counter
down
Blitz,
with that
a
blitz
Warden to counter Capitao, a Warden to counter the flashes on
only
Habana, a
minute
Warden to
left,
counter the
but
flashes on
just as I say that, Brios with the opening
Ram.
pick onto Woos, a man who has
got a
been
really good operator
incredible
lineup for
so
this,
far map
for this
for
attacking
Makers,
setup.
as well as your Wamai player.
Blitz
though,
has
this
been
late
really
round
unsuccessful
does
on this
likely
bomb
have
site
most
today.
of his discs left out,
Packer
but
is in Narnia.
don't
I hate to
know
say
what
it.
Packer is peeking. As the mute, you've got
That's a tough fucking ball. That's a tough angle to
Getting
peek.
his head taken off. Poison does take a lot of damage. He's down to just.
If you're ever
30
playing Warden on this
HP
site, play
Blitz, which is
exactly
never a
where
good
Kobe is
situation
playing,
if you're a shield,
so that you
but
can watch for
manpower
the
advantage for Aerial
drop
cannot
while
be
also fighting
understated
blue.
here. Makers
Watch
really
for the
need to
kitchen
play
drop.
time. In sneaks Brios.
Kobe
Sees
needs to
that
survive
barbed
to this
wire being
execute.
Destroyed, now coming into play.
He's not
There's
going.
a Warden right behind him, and there goes Kobe.
Honestly,
Lax.
Aerial
It's all
Arise
up
are
to
just
Diddy.
like
There's
sitting
one for
around the
him,
bomb
but
site
Brios
and
does
waiting
not
for
let him
Makers
get
to
another.
move. I think
4
Aerial
kills
Arise
for the
have just a
Ash.
really good
As
read
Makers
on
overextend
how
in the
Makers
early
want to play
rounds
this.
to give Aerial the man count advantage despite how low the time was.
Yeah, Makers just, I guess, got a little claustrophobic playing downstairs. They were peeking Aerial Rise like lunatics almost when they were just waiting for them to already try to push in from down below. They didn't even allow them to walk downstairs. I think. Rio's
Can we
got
remove
2
all the
kills in an
maps and
open
add
match.
power?
Yep.
I'm going to send that up the
Walked
chain to
down
Ubisoft. They'll let you know what
later,
they say.
Like we talked about, he broke that barbed wire, so there was no sound cue. Makers were completely oblivious to him inside of blue. And I also like for Air Rise too, having the Capitao plan Kitchen Hatch, so if anyone's playing inside of dirt to challenge the blitz, he's now
Anki, Mike W, Doki, Dream, and Uno with me coaching.
Waiting for him with fire on the doorway. That was
You may have just cooked up the worst team to ever attend and win an international tournament. Because we would win, we just would not deserve it. We'd be on Na'Vi levels of not deserving to win.
They're still finding a lot of entry kills, which is great, but it feels
somehow we'd Mickey Mouse
all
away.
playing together so well, and Makers for once just doesn't have a response to it.
It's definitely been quite the flip from the last time we saw these two teams play.
I finished my grilled
Ariel
cheese.
looked a lot
Now
more
I'm eating
confident,
tomato
and
soup with
despite
croutons.
the time issues still being prevalent, for whatever reason, Makers just can't capitalize. Now on this cache site, Ariel are taking 3 hard breachers, Ace Thermite and the rare Maverick.
All right, we talk a lot about what
Site.
you're playing in
Yes.
Rafters. I guess we're going to talk about it some more.
A Thatcher. A lot
Some
of
teams
times
like
just
Wamai,
personal
some
preference.
teams like
Thatcher,
Doc,
though,
some teams
maybe
like
the
Wamai
way that
and
still
Doc.
wins.
I don't love the
Maverick,
Doc.
you definitely take him out of the equation.
They haven't
That's
even
what
brought a
Ariel does right
Capitao.
now.
They saw the Doc, they
Finishing
said,
up
fuck
Bandit
it, we're just
trick,
going to flash this
finishing up
guy.
Mav trick. There we go. It's
Or they're
over.
going to just say fuck it and go
Rios wants
con.
to
They
go
might
for the
actually
top
just be
battle.
going construction here.
Finding a safe
Which is
spot
also
to open up
super
the wall.
valid.
Albeit the shotgun blast, we're using audio cue for the band to trick a little easier on that wall. It also makes Sophia's job a little more annoying because it's not just a single.
It's a nice
solid
drone to get
wall
inside.
to open up. Her concussive blast going on.
I think they're going construction here. Snake is poised to get into to drop Logi. They've got a drone inside of Logi.
Speaking of info,
Kobe finds a kill out of nowhere.
boatload of it, but it's still
Kobe finds
Kobe
2
to
kills
find
out of
2
nowhere.
first troubles.
Brother.
That's your Logi play shut down, forcing Air Rise to
'Kay, they lose the
either
round.
double down on this play by
Because they
Master,
don't
which
really
is
have
Logi's
anything
are
to actually
rotating
clear
all
Rafters
back
with
to
anymore.
garage.
I guess they
No
still have a ton of
utility left
flashes.
to clear out
But they're
top
pretty
Rafters,
committed
so
to the
it looks
con
like
push
they'll
still.
opt
They
for
don't
the
want to
first
give it
option
up.
rather than the ladder.
If
That was a
Packer
huge
flanks here,
two-piece
there's
from
probably
Kobe.
no
Really
drones.
whip
Oh, no, they have a
around
drone
for
on the main
Mike
stairs,
W,
actually.
Dropping that Logi hatch too
No, they have a
was
lot of drones, actually, to watch for this flank from Packer.
pretty incredible.
They set it up ahead of time. They know what
Now
they're doing.
Ariel Rise face a 2-man deficit. Giddy is lit up. The problem with using the Mav too is that the breach is very small. It's really tiny. Like it's probably a 3/4.
They're hunting for this battery.
Done for you. So you got less.
Actually, kind of
opportunity
smart for Giddy to put the battery all the way on the
less
left.
space to work with if you're walking through that.
'Cause it's
breach,
kinda hard to
and
find
less
it now.
opportunity to find angles because of
I
how
think
small
Inrio
it is.
just got it. Maybe?
Everyone on Makers hold up in the site, except for Kovilax, who's
That's a
kicking that
risky
wall.
fucking fight. If
Try.
Poison doesn't get that
rips
kill, they
his head
lose.
off.
But also,
Luigi
if he
gets
doesn't
2
get that
kills,
kill,
no
if he doesn't
more.
try to take that kill, they're just
Conwall
trying to push
gets
3v5.
open, so Ariel
And they
do
also
have
probably lose.
the con
So I respect
flat
it from
split
Poison.
now in play, and Poison's just gonna jump right through.
Yeah, Poison's
Giddy
actually farming.
has no idea
They're
he's
actually
gonna
just
go
pushing
for
through
that
and
play.
farming.
Inreal
They
was in
used
the
their
middle of the site
flashes, they
taking
had
out
the
Vito.
entries that they
Woo's
wanted
waiting this
open.
out at
They
2
could deny
pieces,
us from
and
below,
Inreal
but they're not
looks the
going
wrong
below.
way at the wrong time. He had Woo's dead to rights.
Poison for the
At
4K.
least Poison's
In a
able to get
really
that
good
plant
spot for the
down.
post
He
plant.
escapes
Really
with
good
his
spot for the
life.
post plant.
But he's up against 2 ACOGs.
Can they long arm that by
Still has
chance?
2 stims.
I don't know.
Do they know where?
Nah, I don't
Poison's
think
gone?
so.
Thermite has backed way off into the master bedroom, and he's got
No,
a
in the
wide
doorway. They could
open
probably sit in
breach
the
to play
doorway.
with. Ariel might not know about the soft wall next to it though.
They kind of think he's
Do
out,
Makers have an
outside, though.
opportunity? No, it's on the doorway.
They
No
don't know where he
long arm
is.
Here. They're going to have to swing this guy and bait him out with that counter defuse. The Doc now sits on it, and there we go.
Nice shot from Woos.
Woo's out.
Nice shot from Woos.
Packer gets the counter defuse, and Woo's tie the scores once again.
Honestly, really good attempt from Aerial Rise. I love the way they used flashes. I love the way they went for that execute. They had 2 guys pushing from con. One guy, I believe, was on the CC breach.
For that con execute made a hell of a difference.
Super solid
against Aerial
attempt.
Rise and still having a player close by near red. Although Aerial Rise made it close and had a phenomenal heads-up play by Poison.
In the
hopping into
2v2 though,
CC
they just lost
winning
2
2
1v1s.
collective kills off of that, and even sticking that defuse.
And they couldn't have forced anything other than 1v1 because Poison had to
Really
plant.
solid position to play off of one another and bait Poison into making the first move after that diffuser was being ticked by Maker. So now we're tied off. chance for overtime is still very likely.
I would have
Otherwise,
popped
Maple
off for
have a lot of
popped off
history
for Poison if they'd
on
won
this
that.
map.
That would have been the
Over
redemption
back
Poison
Jim,
TikTok had he won
veteran
that.
With a lineup that hasn't really changed all too much, except now Packer is on Frost just for the extra utility of a shield for, I imagine, top red, and then any kind of Frost mats in case someone enters in through highway, which has happened a few times.
Do lose out on that mute though. The drone game from Aerial going to be a little bit easier now that they don't have to deal with the signal jammers. Same Mira setup as well. One on Bathroom, one on the gold rotate rather than Logi. Here's our Packer
Predictions on
sides. He's gonna
Esports World
set
Cup
up
bracket? Okay, but quickly.
his shield and one of his Frost mats.
Ask me
over
after
by
this
top
map.
Red to support Giddy.
And I'll talk about it more.
Aerial though,
But real
switching up
quick,
the lineup a little bit. Last
out of
time
Group
they
A,
attacked,
BDS,
they had
Talon,
the,
Liquid,
Thatcher.
and
They opted
SSG
for
make
the
it.
Deimos instead.
Out of Group B,
And I like
Dark
with
Zero,
a lot of
FaZe,
soft
Furia,
pass extension,
and
Deimos can play down below effectively with info to clear
Wolves
out that
make it.
position, while also making things really difficult for makers to then deal
I'm
with
betting on
CCTV.
Lazmu. That's
Already
where
Mike is in the
that's
building
where we're at in
from the
Siege right
secret
now.
side
I
of
don't know
the
what to
map.
say.
Protected Castle, who might have been playing down below, and he's being actively droned. There's so much info and now map control at the disposal of the Rise.
I'd love to
They
see
can put all
Luminosity
their
make it,
attention into cash,
but it's gonna
and
have to
maybe
be a
allow
prove
them
me
more
wrong
time
type of
to clear out
situation.
Jacuzzi later once they decide to rotate. I love this changeup by Aerial Rise.
Yeah, you mentioned how soft.
As
all
an
the
analyst,
form
I
is.
cannot
hope
predict
that
LG to
Aerial
win.
maybe have someone
I would
set
love
up
for them to
on that
win.
con
I'd love
window,
for them to prove me
'cause that's
wrong.
the safe spot.
I don't know
that
if
you
I see it,
expect the
though.
defender to try and rotate to because the floor is all hard. So if you have someone in the window to cut them off, it's going to pay dividends in combination with that Deimos.
Also, based on the
Maybe
bracket, I don't know if
the
what I
drone
just
roll
said is
does
even
miss,
possible.
but Brios gets the opening pick onto
So we'll
Packer.
look more into it
Another
after this.
opening
Dude,
down.
Brios.
Brios for two.
Dude,
Kobe wasn't gonna get
Brios.
the trade, and Giddy can't either. 3 in a row from Brios, completely unanswered except by
Brios is
Frost
getting a
match.
3K, and
W
Mike
can
just
pick
casually
himself
walks into a
back
Frost
out
map.
of.
We all act
He's
like
got
we
cut
didn't
off
see it,
for
right?
Woos. If Woos
Chat, we're in
tries
agreement.
to
Nobody
retreat
saw
back
that.
to the master doorway,
Nobody
still
saw
so much
that.
time to play with for Aerial as well. Brios has that.
LG's
speed
better
to
than
very
Liquid? No
easily
shot.
deal with any castle barricades. They get a
Not the
fourth
Liquid
kill
I just
on
watched
the
play Copenhagen.
Three
Copenhagen?
death mark
Manchester.
trackers as well. A lot of communication can be used here once Mike W. Actually, it's picked up. I think it is already revived. My mistake. I'm looking at the Frost mat icon. I think he's still down. Flash from top red does not push away.
Jesus
Woos,
Christ,
injures
Woos.
the buck.
Woos!
Catches one off screen as well.
Bro,
The
with aim like
recovery
that,
by
Woos
Poison
might have been the guy
is
shooting at
sufficient
Trump.
to
What the
pick
fuck
back
was
up
that?
Snake. And the final death mark track will go out. They know Mira's
I
exactly
think just
by
whole
top
mag,
lane.
and they even
They've
missed
got
him on the
4
re-swing,
bodies
bro.
to throw at this poor soul. A castle barricade blocking off the line of sight from Bino. He's stuck inside the bathroom, but 2
No.
line up for him.
Let's not get
Thankfully,
crazy.
Mike
Bino
W,
ain't win that.
Limping his way up the main stairs will shut down Mira and bathroom.
Did
Taylor
Mike walk
Rice,
into a
they're
second
back
Frost
to the
mat?
driver's
No,
seat.
it must have just he was still limping.
That was a little scary right there, but like you said, Mike W. in the nick of time getting the kill onto Bino to make sure things don't spiral out of control.
Isn't that
Aerial
TOS? I don't know
Rise
what you're talking
with
about.
The lead once again off the back of Brios. He got 1 kill. Makers just kept throwing bodies at him, expecting someone to get it at some point, but no one was able to trade.
Do I
that
think we'll
guy
see a lot of
out.
recruit play at Esports World Cup? Yeah.
No one was.
I think
winning
we'll
at
see
the
a
same
bit.
time either. Those are all 1v1v1s.
Yep.
So Brios.
I think he'll get picked like a couple times a map.
Isolated fights given to him by the defense, and he just happened to be better in all 3 of them. Now we go downstairs onto Church, where Aerial have defended once before. They did lose. Makers won this attack. That was also down to Kobe being able to just sneak his way into bar and find 2 free kills, which I don't expect to happen again. It looks like
End
Aerial
of round
are much more
replay, Mike
bunker
strolling
focused.
into a Frost mat. We agreed. We didn't
Our
see
2
it.
highlight players.
We all agreed. Nobody
Mike W
saw
and
that.
Brios, they have been the 2 best performers so far on Aerial Arise. We had the 1 ace by Mike W and his overall consistency since then, and Brios.
Robert,
is
I don't
now
know what you're
4
talking
and
about.
2 on entry, where I think almost all those entries have not been traded either from Makers. You had Kobe Lax, who was isolated in both round number 1 and 2. Church, yeah, Brios got like another triple kill on his entry against Woos because he was the guy playing on the hatch, and then we just saw last round where he got a triple kill. That is crazy.
I
This
truly
guy
just feel like a
cannot
lot
be
of
traded.
players on Makers are like
Yeah,
sleepy today. I don't know what it
it's
is. Woos had that
so
big
far
whiff last round.
from
Bino
Brios
had a
mentioned.
couple of really bad
Rounds 1 and 2
starts to
not
this
traded,
game.
round 7,
Kobe Lax had a really
9
bad start to this
follow-ups,
game.
even to make things worse. Twitch drone.
They
I
did
don't
seem
think
to
was
get better
able
on their
to get
attacks, so we'll see how
good
this goes in round
use.
10,
Dealt
but
with some utility in dirt, but otherwise dealt with. Hard
Excuse me.
Breach works upstairs to flush out any semblance of a roam. Brio's already rotating back, and so
so
is,
far it's mostly been
Snake
like the Brios
hovering
and Mike
upstairs,
W
probably
show.
just for
They've both been very
the
good.
drone, as we see Mike W drop as well. So a minute gone. Everyone on Aerial Rise is back towards the site, just as we expected. Very, very bunker focused. But
Makers are shaking in the
at
presence of
very
Poison.
least,
The thing is, Makers have beaten
ton of drone
Poison
support. They got
probably more than any team in
once
the
you
last
spot
year.
where a player, typically, where a player is
Makers and
playing
Aerial
a
Rise
bomb
have played
site,
each other so many times
if
over the
you've
last
done your
year.
due diligence, they don't have a lot of room. So those
And
drones
Makers
come back
always
on
win.
Aerial Rise.
Makers have a history of
And it's
beating
30,
Aerial Rise, so
plenty of
I don't
more
know what
time
it
for
is.
Gib to get some
Honestly, just think
confidence
Aerial
in
Rise was
skills
playing a
and
good
games.
game and Makers started this
Like
slow.
you mentioned, that info
Makers can
game
still come back and
very
win this.
reliable
Again, I
by
do think we're going to
Makers.
overtime regardless.
Secrets all clear. Seems like Ruse will be that main spearhead in that direction, just running himself out, currently seeing if anyone's behind the generator, whilst the rest of Maker continue with that vertical presence and even destroy the Mira that's over by blue, looking into the church side of the map. So that one defensive area is gonna be
Again,
a little more
full anchor
challenging
strat.
for Aerial Rise to defend,
It was Makers
but
who I didn't
Triple
really
L
like their
still
roam,
not
but then they
built
also
up
lost
yet.
their full
I don't
anchor
think they have
anyways,
any
so.
utility for the bandit pattern.
Neither team has been able to defend basement. Not really sure why. I don't think there's
About
been
minute
like a
left
single
building
contributing
now
cause.
is Kitchen Hatch
The thing about
getting
Clubhouse
opened.
basement is like,
The majority of
it's
that
such a
verticality
different
happening
site
above
depending on if you
Kitchen as
roam or
well.
not, you know?
Oh.
Depending on,
Reaching
All
around
right.
missing. At least he's got
maybe it was
another
Kobe
one.
Lax instead of
I believe that took out
instead of Woos.
barbed wire, or maybe the shield was placed over by the double door. I couldn't exactly.
The thing about Clubhouse basement is depending on how you set it up, it's like
Makers
such a
are-
different bomb site, you know?
Rather spread out. They've got two like lounge side, two over towards kitchen. Hacker over by
Clubhouse
main
almost
stairs,
has
so
like
they're
5
trying to
different
switch
sites because I just feel like
places.
a basement Clubhouse
Vito has to
roam
figure
and a
out how
basement
he's gonna get
Clubhouse
down the
anchor are
staircase. They
so
can't open
different.
up this church wall, so this
the
is
way they
pretty
play.
much just going to be him funneling in, and he gets himself into the Kool-Aid wall. But there's a
So,
player playing on the
Chat,
rack who
usually
kills him for
teams do
free.
that with like
I don't know why they
an
didn't know what to do with
Osa
Snake or didn't expect
or
that, but
Kappa
what they
Tau
do
bolts
have
towards
is
Armory
trades, and,
or
they
both.
have every single one of them.
All
I guess
right.
Makers are like
In
tactically
the blink of an
going
eye,
for bad
Makers
executes so
somehow
that they can
recover
lure
a
Aerial
very
Rise to a false
awkward
sense of security
attack
where they will kill the
against the
planter
church
easily,
defense.
and then
And
Makers
sure
come in
they
for the
managed to get
trades.
vertical
Maybe
and
Makers are just like
capture
off my
the double,
fucking
which is
wavelength
what
because
was
that was
saving them in that
that was a
round.
hell of a plant
On top
spot
of
that
the
they
last
somehow
second
won.
blue
I don't know
wall,
what just
but
happened.
Not having
That was an execute if I've ever seen one.
alarming, having to last second Hail Mary through the
Fair
Kool-Aid
enough.
wall that Kobe opened a minute ago against, Toxic Babe seemed very worrying. It seemed like for a while Makers was kind of disjointed, but the fact that they only had like 2 places to push from kind of helped them just focus
Thoughts on Grixer?
on making sure
Grixer's
they could have
great.
at least somebody get in to plant that diffuser and have sufficient coverage from both the open hatch and blue. But it
Nothing
was
bad
very
to say about
alarming. If
Grixer.
that AK player was not dealt with, that could have been Aerial Rise and match point.
I'm glad he's back on Sonics.
Absolutely. Now it's a tie game once again. These two teams unable to shake each other, it seems. Here is where looks like Aerial Rise are going to get serious.
Did Sonics beat Thrive? Yes, 7-5, I
Poison
think.
Clash.
7-5?
On a
Does
Jim
Geo have a
defense,
team
so
yet? No.
he has
Geo
done this
news has
before.
been dead silent. I've
Great
heard
success.
nothing about Geo. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's
Only
going on.
Problem, just in general with Clash, a lot of times on Oregon. The problem with it here on Clubhouse,
He hasn't announced anything,
is-
right? Like, last we heard, he's looking for a
as
team,
defender,
yeah?
I mean, you know the attack is going to bring a hell of a lot of utility.
Geometric. Nope, that's
There's
the
also
wrong
a
Geo.
lot of angles that the Clash is gonna have to
Geo-
worry about if he wants to move between Cash and like Gym side.
What's the fucking other
Already
Geo?
we have
What's his
Adriel
Twitter
at half
handle?
health.
Come on.
Makers are bringing a tool to deal with said Clash. They got Woos on the sniper. If you shoot her shield, it will get buffered, and she'll be, same amount of exposed.
It's
as if
crazy
you were
that they're
melee.
both called Geometric.
So I
One is
like
Geometric
the
and one is
setup for this so far.
Geometrics.
The Clash, if they play it right, obviously there's the asterisk. If they play it right, the Clash shouldn't apply too much of an issue.
Of course, the big problem while playing Clash is knowing when you are overstaying your welcome, when you're isolated. An isolated
Yeah, he's
Clash
been
is
pretty
usually
dead
a
silent
bad
on
Clash for that
socials.
matter, especially if it's
Super is
super
trying to
strong.
find him a team. I guess he's still under contract, eh?
And that is a problem that Poison has faced while playing Clash for the set extension against Makers back in round number 4 of the Swiss stage. So hopefully he's a little more alert about that being a potential problem.
Super
Whilst
kill
Makers
Geo. That's why there's no
Kobe
news.
now
Ah,
has a lot of
yes.
garage. I thought without info maybe established by the player all the way down below.
That is why
the
Fenrir
Amari
is still
pops in
very
the
good, by the
Fenrir
way.
and is now dead. But Bino
Fenrir,
takes a
if you
jacuzzi
can
wall,
get somebody in the
he's
gas,
able to
is a free
alleviate
fucking
some of that
win.
pressure.
It's
He
a
finds
free
2 separate
pick, dude.
kills and
The
can most
operator,
likely pick up Packer.
yeah, less
So long as
universal than
no
it
one's
used to
gonna
be because you
recontest
can't
him,
put
but
up
it looks
5
like
of the
they are
fucking dread
hunting
mines.
for more.
But if you put one in the right spot and somebody's in it, they just cannot fight back, and they can't even leave the gas because it just lingers for so long, you know? Now, is it all going to be for naught? Snake has to beat Kobe-Lax on his favorite gun and Woos on Collie Sniper.
I think it's been left by the 45 hallway.
Snake's had a rough game so far. This is going to be a tough one for him. He's using a lot of bullets, too. I wish the stupid fucking HUD would tell us how many bullets he has in the clip.
Says, I don't need no plant.
Yeah, Kobe didn't lose that.
Snake through the doorway. And again, the trade game. Wow, what a shot. The trade game that we saw in round 10, where Makers just exploded.
North America
on
needs to
that site.
stop
We see
importing
again,
and
it was a little
start
bit closer
picking
this
homegrown
time,
talent. It's
but
the American way.
excellent shots there,
Not to,
hit by
like,
both Woos
disagree
and
with your
Kobe Lax
overarching
put
point,
Makers on that point.
but
Now
I feel like it
this
is
where Poison
distinctly
can
not
take
the
a
American way.
timeout.
And it's more American than anything to just buy better players from better countries. This happens in literally every American sport. More so than most other sports, I feel.
Loss of just now you're in a 5 versus 4 against a clash. Now there's a bit of active fighting between both Makers and Aerial Arise. They force some of the roam off, allowing the clash to be
But
exposed.
I would also broadly
imagine
say
if
that
Poison was still alive in a 2 versus 2 with Snake, that would have been
NA is not like
completely different
crazy
story.
with
But again,
imports, you know?
They had a moment of
Like
opportunity to
M80
insulate
is
her.
obviously the full
Once
import team, which is
she was shut
unfortunate.
down, it was just 2 versus 2.
you know,
Makers
depending
and
on how you
Aerial
look at
Arise,
it.
And they still had the Cali alive
But otherwise,
on the
what?
highway.
Space Station has one
So she was
import,
able to
Dark
cut
Zero
off
have
a
one
lot of
import,
line of
and that's
sights
like it.
Aerial Arise could have used their advantage. And like you mentioned, Makers have been a lot more responsive.
I guess if you count the
against
Brazilians, then
Aerial
like
Arise's aggression.
Oxygen
Now,
has
you can
2
take
Brazilian
initiative
players, but they're not
in
really
most rounds,
Brazilian.
taking some of those gunfights too.
There's not that many imports in North America, really.
I don't know what happened to Makers. Like they
You go to a game like
Snap
League of
thing,
Legends,
I don't
and
know,
that's
they
where you've
got-
got serious
got
import
fierce.
problems.
Interesting that Aerial are opting to go back to Jim. Still bringing the Fenrir, swapping the Clash for a Mira, which I like.
There's no better country.
This-
There's no
the same
country with
thing
more money
that I
willing to
mentioned
spend it on sports
was
and
a
esports.
problem for Clash kind of happened to Poison. He had to make his way back from the Cash side over towards
Homegrown
Jim,
talent
and there's just
also
too
broke
much stuff
rules,
for
so
him to look at,
extra
especially
NA.
After the Amaru, and how
Has
many people
any
quickly do
import
that.
ever
I think
worked
he ended
out
up getting
great?
killed by the,
Define great.
from the window.
I think Citizen has played very well in
Clash is
North
just-
America. I think
We're a
Spoit
tough operator to
is
especially
playing
map
pretty
like
well in
Clubhouse.
North America,
So,
especially now.
final
I think Spoit, when he
rounds
first
of
transferred
regulation,
over,
White
wasn't
W.
playing as well as he did on Rogue, but I think right now Spoit's playing really, really well. I think Nafe is playing really, really well.
Unfortunately, I would have liked to see it. Double hard reach.
You
once
know,
again
I don't
being
think any
played by
import
Makers,
for,
they're gonna
into North
opt
America
for
has
Cash.
ever
You know,
won a
last time,
tournament,
I guess they didn't really need
but I
to.
think
They
they've
just
definitely
kinda
done well.
Jumped in and won the trades.
You know, NA has only won before Beast Coast. NA hadn't won a tournament in 2 years,
This time for
regardless. So
Makers.
it's not like the homegrown talent we're
No
doing any better.
Amaru, that's the big elephant. And taking some more time to gather info by the garage side of the map. Kobe looks to be playing down below once again on the
Yeah,
block.
if you count
Once he
European
gets
imports
shot
too,
control,
then
simply
G2 is a
walk
good
in
example of
over to
successful
Floorboards,
imports.
Who is liking to be forced back to Aerial Rise much earlier. Or from that cash
Spoit's a
position,
big waste of
now
cash.
that ace of Packers
I don't think so.
from Garage, you can open up this main wall and have a really nice cutoff angle. If
Spoit,
anyone
I'm
tries
sure
to
costs a
linger
ton of money,
inside the
but
cash. This has been
I think
phenomenal
he's
map control so
fucking.
far by
I think he's
Makers.
worth it,
No
to be honest.
response as of
I mean,
yet
I don't know his
from
exact
Aerial Rise, but
contract,
they do have a roamer
so I don't know
that
exactly how
can
much they're
play
paying for him, but
Uber out, putting a
I think
stop
Spoit's
to
a
this
very
reach,
talented
at least
player.
Temporarily, Poison maybe feeling a little bit too safe is now coming under fire from
great
below.
Tuber out Kaid play.
At about half HP.
Who was it that we just
Tuberao
watched play this
is
map and they
doing
banned
his job,
Tuberao on
delaying
Clubhouse?
enough times that the electro clock can come back up through that EMP. Poison looking through the downstairs breach, but can't get away from Kobe Lax.
Oh, are we avoiding overtime? Makers with back-to-back-to-back attacks on the
One
cusp.
of your top players, at least through the season, dead, though he's not.
A two-man
having the
advantage,
map that we
Poison and
expected him to.
Snake
He's
down.
negative 6 and 8.
Now the
I
three
believe
best players
negative,
frag-wise are
one-
still up.
1 and 2 on the entry. Now Makers with plenty of time remaining in a 2-man lead look to work their way through cash and into the bomb
But
site.
this is not a good bomb site to hold with a man disadvantage. I'll tell you right now. There's so many different angles the attackers can come through. They still have 2 Thatcher EMPs and an exothermic, so they can, and 2 Selmas. So if they want, they can probably get Jacuzzi open. They'll get Con single if they'd like. They can drop Logi Hatch. They've got window control. They could go main stairs. Like, literally, they can go anywhere here.
Pseudo-aggression that Aerial would necessarily need is not going to be as easy this time around. And Kobe now playing up above. He can open up this hatch, and he even has Woos to back him up as well for a nice 1-2 punch.
Hot drop?
Oh, this could be huge.
He's absolutely going to hot drop. Droning just to gather some more info. I don't know if they have any info in the site, though. They were both outside.
He's not hot dropping.
Because of that, no, he
Close
is still
to hot
gonna go
dropping.
for it and immediately get
Probably
busted
should
by
not
Mike W.
have.
There's 2 players in the
I have
back
no
who
idea
stop him.
why Kobe Lax
Potentially
decided to do that, to be honest with you.
He lights up Giddy, but a second drop.
He's
from
baiting for
Woos.
Woos. Fair enough.
Woo, the
Fair enough.
gets
Hey,
2.
hey,
Giddy
bait for Woos.
finishes
Go ahead.
Brios, and Makers
I'm fine with it.
3 in a row to win in regulation. Another 7-5 win.
GG's.
And Makers continue their dominance over Poison's squad.
Once again, just short by 2 rounds on Clubhouse. For a brief moment, I thought, Harrison, this could be the nail in the coffin for Makers, but they swiftly bounced back in the second half, having much...
I'm
much
sorry
emphasis
to the Aerial Rise
on the trade
believers, but
and
Packer wouldn't let
winning
me
a
down
couple
like
more
that, and
entries
it's regulation
overall.
to
Kobe
boot.
wasn't completely
Congratulations,
down. He
Demino,
does
the
in a
big
couple of
channel
rounds
point
like
winner off that
CCTV,
one.
And that very last round on Jim, for example, having a really big impact role on clearing out cash from down below as Buck.
This is
But
indeed the
also,
third
they were
game
able
to
play
end
what they had.
7-5.
They did a much better job
Yep.
of playing those trades because we saw Brios.
Chat asks, are Kino and Geo imports? Because while they are not from the USA or Canada, which technically the rules of the league say you must be in the US or Canada to play in the North American League, they've never played in any other league. I would say that Geo and Kino are not imports. I mean, it's a matter of definitions. Packer the GOAT! Great job, Packer. I always believed in you. Chat did not, but I did. Bro rushed into chat. Bro knows he's a champion. I would say Kino and Geo are not imports. Because although they rock flags that are not American, they were not imported. To import implies that they've come from somewhere, yes? Makers won 7-5 depressed. So we'll look at the groups quickly. So now, every team from Group B has lost 7-5, and every team from Group A has won 7-5. If Karn & Co. can beat 6K 7-5, and if SSG Academy beat Fluffy Aimer 7-5, today will have been completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. This is good for me. This is good for you. Aimkey, you're rooting for Karn & Co. and SSG Academy next up. If Geo moved to Cruelty, would he be considered an import? I guess so. Do I think an NA player will ever get imported? Yes. Eventually. Oops. Because we are entering into an era of APAC imports. I think Bleed and specifically Talon, the Korean teams in general, have really started a trend of APAC teams buying out European and American players. And I think they're already seeing a lot of successes. Obviously, coaches kind of started first. But there are some players being moved over as well, with Leader going over, with all of Mir. Blur and Sloth going to Mir. Mena, obviously, as well. We're seeing a lot of imports being taken up by APAC. I think it's only a matter of time before an NA player takes that spot. Technically, we've already seen an NA import with Abanai going to Mexico. Maybe not the greatest example. Remember the best of North America going to the best international team, but still, I mean, that counts. How much money have teams won from making groups? By making groups, teams have made an astounding $0, because last place in groups still gets nothing. If you can avoid getting last in groups, you get $500, so $100 a person, minus coaching or org fees. And then it goes $1,500, $2,500, $4K, $7K for first place. Is Aubenite an import? He's never played Tier 1 NA and is unaided. Aubenite played Tier 2 North America. I would count that. Aubenite played Challenger League in NA. Mexican Pro League is probably worse than Tier 2 NAU in Brazil. I mean, literally, Element 3 puts that to the test. The best team in Mexico is right here, Team Cruelty. Underneath teams like Thrive, Karn & Co., Aerial Eyes, Fluffy Gamers, basically all of NA Tier 2. Cintanegra, probably... Is Cintanegra the second best team in Mexico? I actually have no fucking idea. I guess. Well, second best team in Mexico and second best Mexican team are two different questions. I think Cintanegra are the second best Mexican team. Also shit on an Element 3. The only Mexican Pro League team that did well in Element 3 is the team with, if it'll load, 5 Brazilian players. So I think it's fair to say that North American Tier 2 teams are better than Mexican Tier 1 teams. Now, how serious do the Mexican teams take this? I don't know. But I mean, from what I've heard from scrims and shit too, I would still probably take the North American Tier 2 teams. You predict G2 will import Gunner when they inevitably crumble again. I don't know what the fuck G2 does. I genuinely, I think G2 sticks it out. I think Doki's tweet after G2 lost in EWC quals was very optimistic. And if you're a G2 fan, and even if you're not, I don't know if I'm a G2 fan. I wouldn't call myself that. But I am a G2 believer. I have a lot of respect for G2 as a team. I think this tweet is something that you... Not this tweet. No, not this tweet. No, not that tweet. Not that tweet. This motherfucker tweets too much, bro. Proud of the roster we have right now. The effort the last 2 weeks is amazing. Excited to play with the team more and more. To me, this speaks that they're going to stick with the 5-man roster they have, and they still believe it has potential despite how poorly the EWC quals went for them. I say how poorly it went. They lost 1 BO3 and that eliminated them. I don't know. I don't think G2 makes any changes in the short term. I'm excited to see what this team does. I still think this team has potential. Call me crazy. I still think we see this team in Montreal. Would Gunner leave Beast Coast, though? That's the thing. I don't think Beast Coast are going to let any of their players go. I don't think any of the players want to leave Beast Coast. I think Beast Coast are just a team with, like, insane vibes. Beast Coast is, like, a relatively well-paying org. Are they paying the highest salaries in the world? Probably not. But they pay good salaries. The team has really good vibes. The team is winning. I don't think any of the players would leave. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when G2 offers the bag, Gunner drops everything and sprints on over to Germany. But I don't know. I wouldn't expect it. Beast Coast did sign their players for 3 years. Now, that doesn't mean that Beast Coast has to have this roster for 3 years. Obviously, the players could ask to be sold, basically. Similar to traditional sports, but if G2 dropped Doki, that's when you quit being a fan? Yeah, I don't think they ever dropped Doki. I think Doki's on G2 till he dies. I can't see him ever leaving. Alright, well, the next game is going to be Carnage and Friends. Carnage B and the cooperative players around him. Sentier, Kento, Fens, and Asian. So wait. They've got fucking 8? No. They got fucking Kento. This is an old school pickup. So, obviously, for those who don't know, let me find the right fucking tab. WildCard decided to drop Vertical. For the rest of Element 3, WildCard are trialing Spiff, formerly of Karn & Co., formerly of Astralis, to play for WildCard instead of Vertical. That meant that we were in the dark as to who Karn & Co. would pick up. It seems as though, they've just taken it off the screen, they have gone to pick up, who was it? I literally, just on screen, I'm blanking. They've picked up Kento of Mirage fame. Has Kento played anything recently? He's actually registered to Karn & Co. as a substitute, apparently. And he has been for a while. Interesting. All right. I don't think Kento has taken this very seriously. I kind of thought Kento was gone, to be honest. I didn't realize Kento was still in the scene. Yeah, I mean, his Twitter doesn't exist. So we'll see. But probably is good friends with the Karn guys, and so is happy to sub in for them when they need him. Thoughts on Vertical getting dropped? I am here for it. I don't think Vertical was great on WildCard last stage. I think WildCard needed to make a change. I think that the guy they picked up, I think Spiff did pretty well today. I guess they lost. Couldn't have done that well. But, you know, I didn't think Spiff was bad. He did, you know, his job as an entry fragging Ashe player. So, base, I like it. Kento played EWC quals with Uzi and Skittles. Was he on that team? I remember that team. It was Uzi, Skittles, Drip, and whoever the hell else was on that team. Did they make closed? No. Oh, he did. You're right. Maybe he's making a comeback. Who knows? I feel like he's just, you know, still a good player and is friends with a lot of people in the scene, and so is just kind of subbing in when he's asked to. I don't know if he's seriously trying to come back. It's possible. I wouldn't bet on it, but it's possible. Oh yeah, I forgot we were playing this game. That is JFK. He's probably in... Is this tower back here? I have no idea what airline that is. It's probably Air Force One. What am I fucking saying? Or like an American. Probably not a commercial airline. To me, this tower kind of looks like the Seattle Space Needle. I don't know if anybody else sees that. This tower, to me, looks like Seattle. It also looks like we're in America, just based on the people So I'm going to go with America for this guess. I'm going to go Seattle Airport. As for year, JFK, I'm pretty sure was after World War II. Was JFK like the 70s, maybe? 60s? That sounds right. Let's go 70. 71. That was Dallas. Oh, that was right before he got shot. That would have made sense. All right. You know what? I probably should have thought of that. I'm pretty sure he was after World War II. I was right, was I not? Was I not? Chat coming at me like I didn't fucking nail that guess. Listen, I got 4,000 points. More points than you got. Welcome, President Eisenhower. All right. Now, this you guys might have gotten tripped up by this. I actually don't think this is the United States, and I'll tell you why. Number one, why would the President of the United States be invited to his own country with a big sign like that? That doesn't make any sense. Number two, this, I'm going to say, is Arabic. And thus, it's unlikely to be hung on a banner in the United States. I can't tell what any of these flags are. The only flag I can identify is this American flag, which, again, I'm going to go ahead and say is probably not the country we're in. I get vibes of, like, Morocco here. I get Morocco. Don't ask why. I just get Morocco vibes. Marrakesh, specifically. Probably drove from the airport. Probably, like, on this road right here. Maybe just coming into the city. Now, Eisenhower was before the war? Was he during the war? When did the war end? 48? 44? Let's go end of the war, 44. No, why would he be traveling around at the end of the war? Let's go like 46. Oh my god, nailed it! 13 years off, which is a little far, but not that bad. What year was it? 59. Fuck. Chalet? No? Stop taking me to Clubhouse! He was... Good guess. Thank you. Someone guessed the exact same straight as me. Is Canadian history system the same as the American geography system? I'm just really bad at dates. Dates just don't make sense in my brain. Via Vecchia Delicassen. Nursing and home care services. Little shit. We're definitely in Europe. I think we're in the UK. Because even though this is like German, this is English. And this is probably just like a little like German store that sells like little chocolates or something, right? And it just, to me, this just screams like 90, like early 90s, maybe the 80s. I'm gonna go London, 1991. 1990, London. It was England. 1996 in England. Dude, I crushed that. Prince of Wales. Oh, is this the king right now? I didn't recognize him. He's on my money. I didn't recognize him. Oh, we're already into round 1.
He still was considered decently strong. There were a lot of times where he would get thrown onto these sites, but I think that's fallen off just a little bit. We're back in the time where
Was it
there
not
is
German?
a little bit of variance with defender bans, and that's not because you need to pick the most powerful defender. You can actually fine-tune that ban to your playstyle.
What is Diagon Alley?
I want to know if that Azami ban will actually lead anywhere. For
Diagon
Clan.
Alley,
Obviously,
Harry Potter. All right.
they're attacking now.
Millennials,
They've got
let's
that,
calm
Striker,
down.
They've got that Ash, and Kurtz is immobile. We have a rehost. That's not good.
Take off your skins, guys. Take off your skins, man. Come on. We've been through this.
All right. You may have been through this, Jazzman, but I have not been through. Oh, that's the end. All right. That's not bad for my first time ever playing this game. Did I get every country correct? Chat, I got every country correct. That's pretty good. I got USA. I got Morocco. That was not an easy Morocco. I got the UK. Not the easiest UK. I got France. That was a pretty easy France. And I got Cyprus. That was actually a really easy Cyprus. There was a truck that said Cyprus. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that one. Let's GeoGuess. That got me right in the mood for some GeoGuess. Delicassen is English. Via Vecchia means old road. And Delicatessen. What? That's not English. That's just not English. Delicatessen. Alright, well, you spelt it wrong. Delicatessens originate in Germany. Never question me again. Never question me again. We also have metal stop signs out here, which is more rare in Canada. I don't see any clues that are going to tell me what state this is. I can't even see the license plates. So please, chat, what state is this? Please tell me what the states are. You're younger than me, and even you know Harry Potter. I mean, I know what Harry Potter is, but I don't ever watch it or read the books. Minnesota, Montana. This is just, there's no way it's that west. New York. My vibes give southeast. Not a single one of you has given southeast. I'll trust you over me. You're all going very north. Pretty west. The game is starting, so we need to make a call. I don't hate Georgia. I like Georgia, Tennessee. I think the later chatters were more on the ball. North Carolina. I told you. That's not the stream.
Oh my god!
I was joking. I was totally joking. Oh my god, their internet actually went out.
What?
You have to like stay on the operator that you're on. But looking at the lineup from, okay, well Kurtz is on mine now. Uh-oh. I don't know if that's gonna. I'm not an admin.
We got
Kurtz
a
is-
rehost.
Oh my god, Kurtz is AFK.
We have to go to another.
Is this another team cruelty internet went out situation? Is this what we're going through again?
Please, please. I think we were supposed to start at 9, but because some of the games have been pretty long, it's been a pretty good day for Siege. We're already like 20 minutes behind, and if we're 10 minutes later, we kind of have the potential to go to midnight. It's still not moving. I don't like that. He's gone.
No! Oh my god, the internet actually went out. Are you serious?
Oh my god!
So anyways. I hope you guys like GeoGuessr. Because we're going to be here for a while. I'm going to say this one is not the United States of America. US infrastructure is not the best. It's not quite this bad.